IBC Mobile News, on the level, on the go.
We'll get the whole gambit. It's 29 degrees and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Everything between snow and rain will hit pretty much the entire state later today. Much of central portions of Indiana will be seeing ice.
We think the peak of that ice is likely going to be closer to the evening drive. A glaze of ice, possible. We could exceed maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch of ice just north of Indianapolis.
Meteorologist Marcus Bailey, a winter weather advisory will be going into effect early this afternoon. 1 to 3 inches of snow to the north and just rain to the south. A scaled-back version of Governor Mike Braun's property tax proposal has your lieutenant governor feeling frustrated. Harrison Silcox reports.
Micah Beckwith would have preferred Braun's original proposal.
I think we could still get some really good things. I haven't given up. But we got to fight. We got to call our senators, call our House reps, say, give us meaningful property tax relief or else.
Beckwith talking with WIBC's Hammer and Nigel. The scaled-back version allows local governments to lose less income compared to Braun's original plan. Beckwith is hoping to see some changes in the full Senate. Harrison Silcox, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
State troopers spent the day ripping up 7,000 illegal hemp plants in Hamilton County on Tuesday. ISP says that the grower was not properly licensed. Hemp is a cannabis plant that contains low amounts of THC. Troopers did not say anything about any arrests. Indiana State University is being sued by the ACLU of Indiana, the lawsuit claiming that Indiana State is violating the First Amendment rights of the Pride Center of Terre Haute, who usually organize a Pride Fest on the ISU campus.
Here is a public space where First Amendment activities can occur, and the university is saying you can't have your First Amendment activity here.
Ken Falk with the ACLU talking to Wish TV. So far, no comment from Indiana State. Some surprises last night in men's college hoops. The Indiana Hoosiers beating number 11 Michigan State 71-67 in East Lansing. All that while number 7 Purdue lost to number 20 Michigan 75-73. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Baer.
All right, Kurt, that crash cleared on the south side, westbound 465 between Emerson and I-65 and southbound 65. You still have company coming from MLK down to 21st Street, mostly up to speed, though. Traffic sponsored by Lear Capital. Our financial system is cracking under pressure. Your retirement is at risk. Take control now. Lear Capital is offering a free Sky High Silver Report and Precious Metals IRA guide at betternesting.com. Don't leave your future to chance. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
It's tax time, and tax time is your time to buy a new Nissan and get double your tax refund or down payment only at Andy Moore Nissan of Indianapolis. For a limited time, when you buy any new Nissan, Andy Moore Nissan will double your tax refund or down payment up to $5,000. That means your $1,000 becomes $2,000. Your $2,000 becomes $4,000. Your $4,000 becomes $8,000. This month only, Andy Moore Nissan will double your down payment up to $10,000. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Good credit, bad credit, even no credit. Our credit experts will get you approved with the best terms, with as little as $0 down on any new Nissan in stock. Andy Moore Nissan is making deals other dealers won't and approving deals other dealers can't. Andy Moore Nissan, 4302 Lafayette Road, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Rain, sleet, and ice all possible this afternoon into the early evening hours. Watch for slick spots, a high of 35. The wintry mix winds down late tonight, a low down to 26. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8's Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
29 degrees and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, February 12th, 6 minutes after 9. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So, Senate Republicans gutted Mike Braun's property tax relief plan yesterday, and that's where we begin today. The new version focuses on tightening referendum rules for schools, limiting growth on property tax levies, and introducing a first-time homebuyer credit. However, the annual 3% cap on property tax growth was removed. The governor's plan capped it at 2%. They also removed the increased deductions for homeowners. They completely removed the rate reset. And Braun's original plan would have reduced average home buyers' tax bill by 21%. But guess what? That has gone bye-bye.
It is the most government thing ever. They took a very good, streamlined, moderate bill. Keep in mind, this bill was a real compromise between what people like me wanted. This is not what I really wanted, and the school people and the government people didn't want anything. So we're going to target a very specific group of people. We're going to do the most amount of good with the least amount of impact on anyone. No commercial was included in this. No rental was included in this. Any new construction the past 4 years, not included in this. The only people that we're going to see help, and it's a lot of people, but not when you compare it to the amount of actual assessed value, which is how property taxes are done and governments get their money in communities, is people who had a tax bill, a home that had a tax bill in 2021, a homestead credit, was eligible for a homestead credit in 2021. And what you saw yesterday, and we'll get to this here in a second, we're very lucky that these people have so little self-control that they couldn't help themselves, is you saw the members of this tax committee basically say the government matters more than you. That's what they said yesterday. They know that you're hurting. They've received these emails. They've talked with the governor. They know you're hurting. They just simply said, we don't care. They know this bill will help a very small group of people. Their goal was they would like to do nothing. They knew they couldn't do nothing. And so their goal with what they did yesterday was to try to help as few people as they possibly could, make you believe that they were doing something for you. And thankfully, and this is what came out of yesterday, and I'm so proud of you guys yesterday and our audience yesterday and people across the state, you are waking up to this. I told Casey, I would love for this property tax reform plan to pass as Braun presented it. It would help so many people. But there were one of two things that were going to happen out of this. Either it was going to pass and everybody was going to get helped, but that was never probably actually going to happen, or at least not willingly. Or it was going to finally hit you, the audience, right between the eyes of who these people are, what the Republican Party is in this state, and how they actually view you. So often, how many times have we heard from people, well, I know they don't really like me, or I know they're for big tax.
But I can't vote for a Democrat.
It sounds like, in Casey, I've not heard the voicemails yet. You went through them. It sounds like, and I saw the emails that people were sending. I'm sure they were a great sample of what people were sending yesterday. Yesterday was the day for so many people that they finally said, okay, I'm done with it.
I get it.
I
understand what you've been saying.
And what really needs to happen, I would love for this bill to pass. I would love for it to go as is. I would love for people to get but it's like treating a symptom of the disease. And the disease is the Republican Party in the state. The disease is the establishment power structure of the Republican Party in this state. And we're treating the symptom rather than the illness. The illness needs to go away. And until we start punishing these people at the ballot box, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle. And I think yesterday was the day for so many people where they said, all right, I have given these people one chance after another. We're not asking for much here. All we're asking for is that property tax, we're not even asking to not pay property taxes.
Right.
We're letting the majority of property taxes still be paid as is. Businesses, rentals, the 2%, the 3%. All we're saying is for a very select group of people, a very targeted group of people, you reset our rate till before the madness happened. And they hate us so much they even said, no, we're not doing that.
No, we can't do that. We love all that money that we've collected from you over the years. I think it's time that we talk to J.D. Prescott, because wasn't it him who has this idea to eliminate property taxes altogether?
Yeah.
Let's go back to that.
He's gonna be with us tomorrow, and we'll start talking about strategy on this. Now, the good thing about this is we talked about yesterday, and yesterday was a venting session, but yesterday was about a lot bigger than just these guys stripping this bill in committee. This is sort of 8 years of frustration that's been building up for me, and now we're all in the stew together. But the reality is it's a long game. And the great thing about this session and the great thing about them doing this early is it gives us time to spend the next 2 months beating the hell out of these people and emailing them and calling them. And when you see them out, telling them what you think of them. And by the way, and Casey will back me up with this, we are planning something very big. We think you're going to just love it and be a part of it. And it'll involve all of us working together on something that'll be a great little opportunity for us to come together. And we'll tell you more about that hopefully in the next week or two. And we still have an opportunity to fix the situation. They could have strung us along for 2 months and then in the middle of the night, the last day of session, change the bill, which they can do, and then we would have had no recourse. But at least now we have the opportunity to vent. And like I said, it's like the second inning of a baseball game. You'd rather be winning than losing, but you've got the opportunity now to engage over the next couple of months, and your engagement will decide whether this thing gets corrected going forward.
Well, we know that the Senate is where bills go to die, and they proved it yesterday. Mike Braun did put out a statement, and it says that Braun remains committed to delivering meaningful property tax reform that puts taxpayers first by providing immediate relief, capping future growth, and simplifying the process through reform and transparency. And it goes on to say that he's going to review the changes to the plan and that he looks forward to working with the House and Senate to strengthen the amended bill.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a second.
Yeah.
And I want to preface this by saying I think Braun, given the restraints of his personality, and I'm not trying to be negative when I say this, but look, Braun is not Mr. Dynamo, okay? He's not. That's not in his DNA. He's not Donald Trump. I think given the restraints of Braun's personality and his DNA, I think he has tried as hard as he can to get this thing to become a reality. But that's not working. And Braun has got to crank up the heat on these guys now. If he's serious, you'll find out. Because throughout this whole course, we've been told by people, oh, Rob, you're being used. Braun is leading you on. Braun isn't serious about this. Braun doesn't want this to pass. We're going to find out now, because he's been screwed by these guys, about whether Braun actually wants property tax reform to pass. Because he's got to start using every tool in his toolbox to get property tax reform passed, crank up the heat. He needs a Ron DeSantis moment right now. You see how DeSantis responds when the lawmakers in his state are not doing things that are on the side of the people. That's right. He cranks up the heat. He doesn't say, well, I look forward to working with them, or I look forward to this, that. We're going to find out how much Braun actually wants this, because we are at your disposal. The state of Indiana is at your disposal. The taxpayers are behind you. You have the people. These fireside chats, meeting with a select group of people in a room, that ain't going to work anymore, right? That has not moved the needle. I appreciate your trying, but that has not moved the needle. Now we got to start doing things our way, and this is, the political version of Thunderdome Bloodsport, because these people are not listening. These lawmakers are not listening. They know what they're being told, and I can't tell you, and this is what's so frustrating. This is the issue the state is talking about. It is the lead issue in our state, and I can't tell you the amount of people who emailed us saying, look, I've emailed 5 times or 7 times, and I emailed again today, and I get no response from my senator. I emailed Brett Clark, my senator, yesterday. Automated response. That's it.
I got hung up on yesterday.
Casey got hung up on yesterday. These people are not listening. They know you're talking to them. They know what's happening to you. They don't care. And this is where Braun's got to come out in a very forceful manner. And he's got to say things like if I were Braun, you got to say something like, look, if you don't pass this, I'm calling a special session, and we're going to stay here until it gets passed. Nobody's going home if this thing isn't passed at the end of session. He's got to use the levers of the power of the governorship that are, a lot of these guys are up for re-election. He's got to start talking about that. Like, if you don't vote for this, we're going to pledge to recruit and primary people who are not going to pass it. I mean, there's a bunch of different things that he can be doing right now. He's also got to say, and I would say this if I were him, I'm vetoing this bill if it passes in its current form.
Right. You got to wonder if that's on the table.
There's a low veto override threshold, but make these guys come back. And then once they're back, special session. You're not leaving. I mean, there's a bunch of things he can do. It's still early in the game. Yesterday was a very depressing day, But we still have the governor in our corner. We certainly have the lieutenant governor in our corner, and we have us. And as long as we have that and everybody's still moving forward, as long as you don't get off the bicycle, right? I've told this story before that I had a friend who, it's called Race Across America, I think is the name of it, where people will get on a bike in California and they literally ride their bicycle across the country to, I think it's somewhere in Maine. And you have a team of people that go, in an RV that follow you around and logistically set up things. And I went to a training session with this guy years ago on it because he was thinking about doing it and I was going to help run his team. And they said the number one key to this event when you are either motivating your cyclist or are the cyclist is do not get off the bike. As long as you're on the bike, you are moving forward.
Yep.
And as long as you're moving forward, you are getting closer to the end of your destination. So even if you're going 1 mile an hour on that bicycle,
You're
do
still
not
moving.
get off the bike.
Yeah.
And so the key is everybody's got to stay on the bicycle at this point and keep moving forward and keep trying to drive this agenda.
So Braun said that he remains committed to delivering meaningful property tax reform. I get the sentiment. It's nice, but it came across kind of bland.
It was weak.
It was weak, yeah.
It was weak. And so you're going to find out here within the next week or so how much Braun, I'm not going to condemn him on that. It was weak, but the way he's been doing business, it ain't working. And so, and he's a business guy. He knows.
Now when you have the lieutenant governor who's saying, we've got to call our senators and call our House reps and say, give us meaningful property tax relief or else.
Yeah, let's.
The or else is, or you're out of here. We're going to vote you out.
Let's take a break because I want to talk about the political landmine Braun has walked himself into if he doesn't get the property tax reform passed.
We're also going to hear from Travis Holdman, the author of the bill, coming up from 93 WIBC.
The administration is taking shape.
I, Marco Rubio. I, Marco Rubio.
Y un gran honor y le doy las gracias al Presidente Trump. I just said I saved a bunch of money by switching to Geico. That's what I said. So.
Hearings and votes continue.
You have said you're asking me, Senator, you're asking me not to sue vaccine.
Confirmations are underway.
The Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the nomination is confirmed.
Follow the first 100 days on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man. High five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Up top, bike shop.
Yeah. It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messelthorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Are you having a hard time making it through a day of work without foot pain or discomfort with things that used to be simple like walking the dog? You may be thinking there's no way that something as simple as the Good Feet store can help you, like Bill.
My feet would just ache, my back would hurt, my ankles, everything just hurt. And I'd seen the commercial several times before I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
Another satisfied customer of the Good Feet store is Wendy.
Since wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet store, my back pain is gone and my feet don't hurt as much. And as I look into the future without pain, I see myself being even more adventurous, joyful, and full of possibility.
Come to the Good Feet store today for your free fitting and test walk. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood just off the 65. Or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Discover your options at the Good Feet store.
Morton Building's annual Building Value Day sales event is here and now through the month of February. Morton buildings are built stronger, last longer, and look better. Whether you need a garage, farm shop, stall barn, or storage building for your RV, boat, or collectibles, now's the time to save on new buildings. Visit MortonBuildings.com to learn more and save on select new buildings that will stand the test of time. From Morton Buildings. Certain restrictions apply. See your local construction center for details.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Health gives you the ability to love more, feel more, be more. Health gives you the ability to live an extraordinary life. Because every day, no matter the challenges, is a chance to breathe, laugh until your belly aches, cry because you care so much, and experience everything that makes your life truly extraordinary. For 150 years, Franciscan Health has been there, watching extraordinary lives unfold. Love your extraordinary life.
Are you still thinking about what to get her this Valentine's Day? Make that special gift last forever and surprise her with a gift from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
The game is not over. We don't want to burn a bridge down yet because there could be some great things that happen. That's from Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith. He's talking about Senate Bill 1, which, of course, was completely gutted by the Senate in committee yesterday.
Yeah, and so we talked about last segment. Braun's got a major issue here, which is because he went sort of by force on this bill, or at least that was kind of the way it was perceived, because he didn't want any part of this until
he realized.
Until, obviously he saw the power of this program and others, and Micah's victory, I think, was an eye-opener to him. Now, again, full credit to Braun. He has leaned into it and certainly made this a priority. If he fails, and right now it's a failure, that bill's a failure and should be vetoed. If that bill came to Braun's desk, he should absolutely veto it and then say, I'm calling a special session and we will not leave until you guys pass my plan. I mean, Braun has tools at his disposal that if those guys want to get nuts, then let's get nuts, right? He's not obligated. And again, tons of time left in this thing for it to get back to its original point. And look, if it does, Braun will be a hero and blah, blah, blah. But the problem Braun has politically is because so many people didn't believe that he was into it. And if it fails and then he is just weak in the response, like if he's not a DeSantis in his response and it fails, he will be in real danger of potentially being primaried in 2024, especially given the fact, and this is the huge mistake those guys made, they laid the gauntlet down and told the people we don't like Micah Beckwith. They've stripped a bunch of his authority through executive actions taken by Braun, the realignment of government. There's no secret about how they actually feel about Micah. And look, Micah's one of my best friends, but I said from the beginning, I don't ultimately care about Braun's relationship with Micah as long as Braun does his job. But if he can't do it, if he can't get it done, then we'll find somebody else who can. And you have a really popular amongst the base lieutenant governor who the people in the base see as getting screwed by Braun and the General Assembly. He's out there being super loud about what happened yesterday. And with Braun, you kind of get, I'm going to review it and I'll work with the General Assembly and blah. It kind of seems like the same closed door approach that you've had so far that isn't working. Now, maybe he'll pull it off, and I'll look back and go, man, I was sure wrong. It hasn't worked so far. You got to start getting, you got to start getting mean with these guys. You got to start naming names. We got to start, these are things I've been asking for months now, and clearly your strategy didn't work because this bill didn't get out of committee. So real minefield for Braun now, depending on how he handles this. He could end up being a complete hero, or if it fails, he's politically in real trouble.
Well, you can tell just by the tempo that's been set based on the reaction. You've got Braun saying that the governor's going to carefully review the changes to the plan and looks forward to working with the House and Senate. Okay, that's all politically nice. And then you've got Beckwith who says, I think we could still get some good things done. I haven't given up, but we've got to fight. I mean, you can tell who has the spirit in this.
Yeah, and so the process on this, here's how this will work. So it will go to the Senate, full Senate now, for an amendment process. At any point, senators could make amendments to reestablish this bill if they want to pass it. Like if they actually care about you, they could do that on the Senate floor and they could reinsert and it could become Braun's original bill and it goes forward, right? If that doesn't work, then it will go to the House. It will go to the House Ways and Means Committee, which is the money people who control the money. The committee process starts all over again. J.D. Prescott's going to be with us tomorrow to talk about how that process would work. They could totally gut the bill, change the bill, reinsert it into the bill. Then it goes to the full House to vote on. They can make amendments. They can change the bill. Then when that's all done, it goes to the conference committee unless they pass the exact same bill, which they're certainly not going to do. And the conference committee can make whatever changes they want. It, like I said, it's a long game. And yesterday, these guys did us a real favor by pulling the mask off early in the process and showing you. They showed you yesterday because they have so little self-control.
They're more concerned about local governments than they are you.
They are. Yesterday, that committee, the 10 Republicans said, we're more concerned about the $58.5 million taxpayer-funded hotel in Carmel than we are you and you being able to afford to stay in your home.
So here's Travis Holdman. This is his reaction, reported by Fox 59 after they voted.
We just think there's a fine line that we have to walk to make sure that we are careful to be responsible to the local units of government and at the same time provide some relief to taxpayers.
First thing he mentions is that they be responsible to local governments, and provide some tax relief to the constituents.
By some, he means nothing.
Right. Some. A little bit.
Make no mistake, unless you're a disabled vet or someone 65 or over, you're getting nothing out of this bill. And in their world, and this is how their mind works, well, we controlled how much you'll have to pay in the future, so we did you a real solid. We're not helping you any now, but just because you're not going to get screwed as much in the future, we've really gone out of our way to help you out here. You should be thankful that we even showed up to work. I mean, it's just yeah, and he said it. Their concern is the government. What we talked about yesterday? Look at these photos these people post. They're all with government people. They're always so pleased to welcome this government person or that government person. They're never pleased to welcome you. They're never pleased to meet with you. They're never pleased to have a meeting about the taxpayers.
Because they think they're better than you. They don't like you. They don't want to be around you. And they clearly don't want to tighten the belt of any government level, whether it's federal on down to local, but yet they're asking you to. You have to tighten your belt, don't you?
Yeah, and I've heard Tony the last couple days talk about, well, it's the approach, and you got to do this, and you got to. No offense, Tony, but the approach is not the problem. The lawmakers are the problem. And the reason people are talking about this, the reason this is the issue in the state of Indiana right now.
The past approach isn't working.
Yeah, the approach of this show is why people are talking about this. The approach of this show is why the governor made it top priority. The approach of this show is why it was Senate Bill 1. The approach of this show is why thousands of emails and phone calls were sent yesterday. The approach is not the problem. The approach is approaching these lawmakers the same way they've approached us for the past 8 years of Republican Party rule. The lawmakers are the problem, not the approach of this show. Kurt Darling's next with the news.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hey, this is Travis from Life Church. Do you have questions about God, faith, or church? What if there's a place you could ask them without embarrassment, judgment, or shame? That's the Alpha Course. Bring your questions and we'll even feed you dinner. We'll talk about who Jesus is, what he did on the cross, and what that means for you without the commitment of joining a church. The Alpha Course begins on Monday nights at 6:30 at Life Church Noblesville, beginning March 3rd. Go to lifechurchin.com for more information and to register.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It was hot last month. It's 29 degrees and cloudy downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. Not the temperature, obviously, but inflation, which rose more than anticipated. January's Consumer Price Index, which measures the cost of goods and services, increased by 0.5% for the month. It also pushed the yearly inflation rate to 3% against projections of 2.9% as they were expected. A prisoner exchange between the U.S. and Russia. Fox's Ryan Schmelz.
The Kremlin is refusing to name the Russian citizen released in exchange for American Mark Vogel until they arrive on Russian soil. Vogel was sentenced to 14 years in a Russian prison on drug charges in 2021 after being caught with what his family described as medically prescribed marijuana. A Kremlin spokesperson says work intensified for a release deal through contact with relevant agencies from the U.S. and Russia. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Coca-Cola says that it will be moving to more plastic bottles if new aluminum tariffs take effect next month. CEO James Quincy announced the move on Tuesday's company earnings conference call. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. Stocks are plummeting today off the news of that hot inflation data. The Dow is off 429 to 44,279. The NASDAQ down 244 to 21,542. And the S&P 500 is down 64 to 6,027. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Cold weather brings hot savings at Tom Roush Lincoln. Select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $12,000 off and get 0% for 72 months. How about an all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus now $6,000 off with rates starting at 4.9% for 60 months. So get in on those hot savings at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Lincoln Navigator MSRP 104,825. Lincoln Nautilus MSRP 61,695. Offers good through February 28, 2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Feeling the aches and pains of everyday life slowing you down? Introducing Blue Emu, America's #1 emu oil formula for pain relief. In a recent clinical trial, 91% of users saw improvement after using Blue Emu. Whether you're working hard, playing harder, or just staying active, Blue Emu penetrates deep to relieve joint and muscle pain fast. And best of all, you won't stink. Join the 91% who felt the difference. Find Blue Emu at your local retailer or online. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
Recent talk about rising interest rates and economic uncertainty may have you wondering if now is the right time to sell your home. Will I get the price I need? Will it take too long? The good news, you don't have to figure this out by yourself. There is a friendly, no-pressure, experienced agent who eats and sleeps Indianapolis real estate. Call Mark Dietl. Perhaps you're worried you won't sell your home for the price you need. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Crystal and Franklin had to say about working with Mark Dietl. I was moving to Kentucky and needed to move fast. I got the Mark Dietl marketing plan and was blown away. The plan worked. I got a full list price offer in the first weekend. Just like that, Mark and his team got it done. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, Dietel.com. Tell him Rob sent you. So the General Assembly decided they wanted to enter the Thunderdome a couple months early, and I'm here for all of that. Yeah, it's Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC. I'm Rob Casey's here. Jim Merritt.
Robert.
30 years in the Indiana Senate. Hello.
Hello.
Look, I said this yesterday. I said this on air, off air. I'm glad that tax committee did what they did yesterday, because now it gives us 2 months to just beat the heck out of these guys and put on full display who they are and what the Republicans are. My fear was they were going to let this process run, and they were going to get to 1 a.m., the final night of session, and then in some conference committee they were going to gut the property tax bill. At least they did it here where we can tell our audience and they can email, and there were thousands of emails and phone calls yesterday from pissed off people that went out. I think you and I are both shocked, though, that they were that short-sighted that they allowed themselves to become a human piñata.
Well, I don't know about short-sighted, but I can look at it two different ways. As a legislator, as a state senator, whenever I voted on anything in a committee, amendment or a bill, or if I was committee chairman, I would always put something or put something in front of a committee or vote on an issue, an amendment or whatnot. And if I would vote yes, if I could defend it to the individual in the nursing home or a teacher that comes down to the State House. And that those legislators who voted for the amendment, for the bill, have to know that they have they know they were either elected in 24 or they're going to be up for re-election in 26, and they have to face the public. And so the issue is here that they this is what they believe. They have 130,000 constituents. They have constituents that listen to this radio station, and they know, but they know it's a long haul. There's three different parts of the legislative session: the Senate bills, and then the House bills, and then conference committee. And they're going to get a lot of bites at this apple, if you will. Now, if I'm Governor Braun, I use this as a catalyst because if I'm Governor Braun, I ran on this. I spoke in the State of the State speech in support of remarkable property tax reform. This bill does not represent that, in my opinion, and I use this as a catalyst. And
so let's talk about that for a second, because you said this in State House Happenings, and I think you're right. And one of them, look, I said I think Braun's tried very hard so
I'm not
far.
being critical.
No, but I think we need to be here because I think Braun needs a fire lit under him, and I think he needs to hear this. Braun's held up his end of the bargain in the sense of he has tried very hard.
He put the banner out there.
Yeah, he's genuinely followed through on trying to get this thing passed. The problem with the Braun people, and I've said this on air, and I've said this about the people, and this is why I knew that bill was going to get gutted in committee, because I reached out to Holdman and Bray. I sent them both emails, and I said, hey, look, basically, I don't like you and you don't like me, but if we're serious about this, let's work together. And I got no response. And I know other people reached out to Garton and to these guys and said, hey, Rob wants to help you. You tell Rob what you need him to do, and they got no response. And I knew when there was no response, they don't want this thing passed, and they're not interested in passing. And I've told Braun this and Braun's people this for 2 months now. I said, you've got to tell me, you got to put me in the ring. You've got to let me work, right? Like I can make this work for you, but you got to engage all in. And that means getting mean, and it means getting nasty, and it means getting direct. It means being Ron DeSantis. And Ron has been he's done the stuff. He's been pretty hands-off about it. You got to drive into this now. That means taking all the resources available to you, including this program and this radio station, and you got to get a little mean, you got to get a little nasty, and you got to put your Du Bois County boot, right up the backside of these guys.
Well, our personalities are so different, but I agree with you. This committee vote now goes to the floor of the Senate, and it's eligible for amendment on second reading. And so I look at this as this is catalytic for Braun to insert himself into the public discussion. And you had Daniel Elliott, state treasurer, on your airwaves talking about Trust Indiana being a possible way for local government to survive and to have that investment that property taxes do place in offering the services.
I think that's what's so frustrating to so many people. And I've seen the emails they've been sending their lawmakers, and people look at this and they say, okay, we had a guy like Daniel Elliott on yesterday, and he says, look, there's plenty of money, and we can help you get more money. So clearly these lawmakers, either they're so uninformed they don't know that this idea exists out there, which that's a red flag, or they're just like, yeah, we ain't doing that. And it appears like time and again they say, you as a taxpayer, you got to get your finances under control. You as a taxpayer, you got to make cuts. You as a taxpayer, you got to make hard choices. These local government people, nah, we're not doing that. That they always get to do whatever they want to do, and there's no accountability. And you, the taxpayer, you've always got to make the hard choices.
Right, and this is a great opportunity for the governor to be, as Abdul says, the co-equal and to play that role. What we've seen in the past administration is that in these issues such as boys playing in girls' sports or issues regarding weapons, and the governor would you never knew if he was going to veto the bill or sign the bill, and this is a great opportunity early in Governor Braun's time in office where he can play an enormous role, and it right now. If he doesn't do anything, then we're going to be dealing with this in April.
Yeah, and here's the major problem that he's got politically, and this is why he's got to get it done. If he fails, he told people, I'm going to get this done. Whether he went by choice or by force, he went, right? And it's like dating somebody who's bad news. Whether you did it because it sounded good in the moment or not, you're in the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he fails, the major problem he's got is he will now have failed on the signature issue that he promised to deliver on. And he's got a lieutenant governor who, let's be honest with everybody, he does not like him. They've worked, they've taken away a bunch of his power already. They're working to take more of his power away. And you got a very ambitious lieutenant governor who's very good in front of the people, who won on property taxes. And if you don't deliver, now you got a big issue potentially getting primaried in 2028 if he runs again, because this guy's sitting here, Micah Beckwith, you've given him nothing to do other than just go campaign for the next 4 years because you've taken away all his power. He's got a major issue on his hands if he does not deliver on property tax reform.
We in State House happenings, we never even discussed Micah Beckwith being a factor in all this. And you raise a good point. I've heard Micah speak out on this in the last day or so, and so he is a factor, and it's something that Governor Braun has to take into consideration. And there are a lot of arrows being pitched at state senators right now, as well as the governor.
He's literally calling me as we speak. His ears must have been burning. Maybe he's plotting his plan to take Braun out, and he wants to discuss it. No, Casey, I'm not answering the phone. We're talking to Jim Barrett on the #1 rated radio show in Central Indiana.
Hey,
we're not picking up the phone to talk to. But this is the point. Braun got into this. He promised he's going to do this. It's not his fault that these guys are a bunch of dirtbags over there on that committee and gutted his bill. But now he knows what he's dealing with, and how he adjusts to this is going to tell you a lot about how much he really wanted property tax reform.
Both the governor and the state Senate have ample opportunity now to defend their vote, number one, with the legislators, and tell us why they voted the way they did. Because as a state senator, I always, if I voted on something, I always thought, now, is this something I need to defend, and how am I going to do that and make sure that my constituents know exactly what I'm thinking? What the governor has the opportunity here is to talk about Trust Indiana, talk about what happens next, and educate people on what he ran on and what he won on, and be a player in the process.
Casey, I've just dominated this whole segment. Is there anything you'd like to tell Jim, even if it's just hello?
No, hi, Jim. You look great. You look
so
wonderful.
do you.
No, you guys have been doing a great
Casey
job.
was doing something fabulous for the show as well. I don't want people to think you were just like slouching
Sitting
over there in the
doing
corner.
Nothing.
Casey
no,
was working.
I was checking on some other stuff when you guys started, so I snuck in.
Anything you'd like to tell Jim other than just he looks fabulous, or would you like to let me have
Well,
the
I
final
told him he
question?
looks fabulous, but one thing that I was working on while you guys started without me, you would not believe how well, no, you would believe because you've seen it online, but the voicemail segment is full of just everybody just irate and so mad and so upset. And the thing that I heard repeatedly over and over again was not just don't vote for Republicans or primary them. People are so mad, not even just leaving it blank. They're going to vote Democrat.
Yeah, good for
because
them.
they're saying that's the only, like we've tried talking about Donald Rainwater. We've tried saying leaving it blank. And now people are so mad about this that they're saying, no, the only way they're going to learn is if we vote Democrat, and then they'll get the message.
Well, as our friend Abdul always says, it's always about elections, and it's an opportunity for people to vote. Vote almost like vote with their feet, and vote with how they feel about a public issue such as this. But it also, on the other side, it's a good opportunity for the legislature to number one, tell everybody why they voted in committee the way that it is, and what they expect on second reading. Because, as I've said, it's a.
Yeah, Kyle Walker, stop complaining to my coworkers and come on here and explain yourself.
I don't know anything about that, but I do know that this is there are 2 months left in the legislative session. But this is a really good time for the governor to speak up, and we saw his statement on the bill and how he wants to work with the legislature. But it's a great it's a catalytic for the governor to grab a hold of the issue and do something with it.
Do you think that his statement on that was strong enough?
Well, I don't. It was one of those. I want to work with the legislator.
Well, of course he's going to say that.
But also,
I wouldn't have said that.
I think you follow up with something a lot more
you're gonna find
effective.
Out. You're going to find out.
Yes,
how much he wants.
And there are also tools out there for the legislature to be helpful to local government,
like Trust
Indiana.
Yeah.
Tell us about Merit in the morning. What are you doing?
Well, we're going to be talking with Scott Pollard.
Hey, we love Pollard, friend of the show.
We had Mark James, who is the voice of the hunt.
Also a friend of the. You're just stealing all
Dan
of our
Dockage.
guests. you talked to my former coworker, Dan Dockage. Yeah. Get your own people, Merit.
We're going to have Doug Bowles. We're going to talk about the new museum out at IMS, and so we've got a lot of great things. Kloppenstein's a great host.
Yeah, Merit in the morning. Find it on YouTube and Facebook. Jim_Merit on Twitter. You're the best. Thank you.
Robert.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show 3:06. That's when we start this afternoon. We're going to keep our eye on the weather this afternoon and reaction to the tax situation here in Indy. 93 WIBC.
AAA not only is the best at helping you out with flat tires, roadside assistance, replacing my dead batteries at work, but they can also plan some amazing vacations. And with all this snow and ice, I'm ready for a trip to Universal Studios with the family in Florida. You know what I mean? No matter where you're headed, AAA can help you get the best price on your next vacation at the AAA Travel Expo, Saturday, February 22nd at the Ritz-Charles in Carmel.
It's free. You don't even have to be a AAA member to attend. Although members love additional benefits like 24/7 365 roadside assistance. So save the date right now for the AAA Travel Expo 2025, Saturday, February 22nd at the Ritz-Charles in Carmel. Find your dream vacation at Indiana's favorite travel show. Bring a friend and enjoy the day. Get more information and pre-register for your chance to win a $500 AAA travel voucher at AAA.com/expo.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed a musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Indiana Foundation Service comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at indianafoundation.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Discover cancer care that empowers you at Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center by offering the expert, compassionate care you need.
When I was at my lowest, I would have 2 or 3 nurses come in to give me a pep talk, telling me it's okay to feel this way. It's normal, but you have us to support you and you will get through this.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you. Still taking your nature-made vitamins? Every day. a multivitamin, and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Kendall and Casey.
I'm a young, up-and-coming professional. We are people who want to work. We want to engage. We don't want to be freeloaders. And yet, it makes it very hard for young people to actually do that.
Kendall and Casey, 9 till noon on 93 WIBC.
So the Indy 500 Snake Pit lineup has been announced. I'm sure you've heard of DJ Illenium. No?
Who?
DJ Illenium. That's the headliner, known for his emotional tracks and explosive beats.
Emotional tracks and explosive beats.
Yeah.
Sounds like some symptom you'd have on one of those diarrhea commercials.
It's a side effect.
If you have what is it? Something.
If you have emotional tracks and explosive beats, check your doctor.
Who? I've never heard of this person.
DJ Illenium. Other performers include London DJ Sammy.
Oh, you remember him
or her? Don't know. Los Angeles remix duo Two Friends.
Oh, how exciting!
Also, Dutch DJ Oliver Heldens. Okay, it doesn't matter as long as just the atmosphere is good.
Kev, you're the residential young person on this program. Have you heard of any of these people?
I didn't recognize a single name.
And see, Kev is into music and techno and all that stuff.
I don't really keep up with the techno stuff as much these days.
But you know of it.
But I feel like I would have heard of at least one.
So okay, so see, that's not that bad. He's a young person. He doesn't know who any of these people are either.
Snake Pit's going to take place May 25th, of course, at IMS during the 109th running of the Indy 500. Over 20,000 music fans expected to attend. They're going to have those 33 IndyCar engines there as well.
Oh, how exciting.
Revving the crowd up. So,
you ever been to the Snake Pit?
No, I've not been to the Snake Pit.
You should go.
You think so? Is this year?
See how long you can leave your top on for.
I've never been in the Snake Pit.
Really?
No.
Well,
Kevin,
that seems like it'd be right up your alley.
Yeah, maybe this is my year.
You love a good festival type of thing.
Yeah, raves are always cool.
It'd be perfect for you.
That'd be my party.
Go in there and smash some pumpkins. And,
oh, yeah.
To DJ Illenium. So Doug Bowles, he said that the Snake Pit is one of the best events of the year for fans. It combines racing thrills with an electrifying party atmosphere.
Well, it is interesting. You think about the job they've done with the 500, and for many of us who are Hoosier lifers, I was a kid, but I remember the dark days of the IRL kart split and how pathetic the attendance was, and you think about now where they have taken the Indy 500. I'm not sure it really translates into the sport as a collective. I think this is Hammer and I got into this yesterday in the sports betting podcast, where sports where there is an event that is much bigger than the sport itself, and the Indy 500 is certainly that, but they have totally revitalized the Indy 500, and it is, you might be able to say, a new golden era of the Indy 500, what they've produced the past 5 or 6 years.
Well, and a lot of credit goes to Doug Bowles. I mean, there's a guy that should run for office because he is just so beloved, everything that he's done.
Why would he want to do that to himself?
Right. Well, exactly. Stay where you are. In fact, he just got a new job title. He's now also president of IndyCar and IMS.
Oh, he got a promotion.
He did because of the fantastic job that he's done.
Or a demotion. He's got to do more work now.
Well, I'm sure it came with some more money.
I wouldn't want any job that has to do more work. No, thank you.
We have to talk about Elon Musk, what happened in the Oval Office yesterday, because it was different from anything that you have seen in the past. That's on the way from 93 WIBC.
If you built a house, you'd start with a strong foundation, right? Now, if you want to build a financial game plan for retirement, you'd start with Social Security. That's the foundation, and here's why. The decision to file for Social Security could impact your taxes, IRA, and 401k withdrawals, spousal benefits, and even your Medicare premiums. Everything is impacted by Social Security. That's why it's critical you get this right.
Nobody knows Social Security like our guy, Bill Demery, your retirement guy here in Indy. Bill is going to do customized. That's important. Customized Social Security analysis just for you. Everybody's different. He'll customize yours. And it's free. Absolutely free, even if you're not a client. So if you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, call our guy, Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Hey, clock's ticking away, Valentine's Day shoppers. It's Terry Stacy, and for last-minute gifts, family-owned Cynthia's Hallmark makes it really easy. Cynthia's fragrant potpourri bouquets are beautiful, and they'll last forever and make a great decor piece for any home. Lots of plush, too, and the hottest plush on the market, Jelly Cat. Cynthia's always carries the softest, most lovable plush for kids of all ages. Cynthia's Spring Marabou lounge shirts and pants, silky smooth and come in beautiful patterns. Buy a pair of lounge pants for just $19.99. And get the lounge shirt for just $4.99, plus a wide selection of Demdeco jewelry and gifts, including the Art Heart collection. Stunning and share a beautiful sentiment, perfect for those that you love. Speaking of jewelry, Cynthia's in Greenfield carries the most popular jewelry line in the country, gorgeous E. Newton jewelry. Shop locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark for the biggest selection of Valentine's Day gifts. 116th and Allisonville Road, 96th and Lantern Road, 116th and Brook School Road, and in Greenfield.
Dads happen. There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry X's, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market. Even in winter, we're bringing you the best in farm fresh flavors. Stop in for our fresh salad bar, hot and crispy wing bar, and a cheese selection that is second to none. Got a sweet tooth? Our homemade pies, creamy fudge, and old-fashioned candy will hit the spot. Come see us on US 31 just north of Carmel. We're open every day 9 to 6. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about fresh, local, and delicious. See you soon.
You said bye-bye to big government. Now it's time to trim the fat from Big Wireless. Pure Talk gives you the exact same service. They use the same cell towers, the same 5G network. You get better customer service, and you pay half the price for the exact same thing. Get unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data with mobile hotspot for just $35 a month. Make the switch. You simply dial pound 250. You say the keyword save now. Save an additional 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, America's wireless company.
Howard Bailey Financial is now in Carmel on Rangeline Road. For over 20 years, we've helped people navigate their retirement journeys, and now we're bringing our experience closer to home. Visit retirecarmel.com to schedule your appointment or text Carmel to 888-2621-104 to download a free retirement resource. Together, let's build the retirement you deserve. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, we'll get a little bit of everything when it comes to winter weather later today. Plus, a high-profile murder trial is nearing its end in Indianapolis, and a setup to kill an ex-lover ends up not going the way that she planned. I'm Kurt Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios. After Fox News Radio, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
Rising inflation, falling stocks. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News. The Dow's plunging 360 points after this morning's report showing hotter inflation than expected. Consumer prices jumped 0.5% last month, and the annual rate of increase continued a trend of rising again, back to 3%.
This morning's CPI report also told us that egg prices have soared 53% in just 1 year.
Fox Business Network's Lydia Hu.
So what's really behind this? We have a very deadly strain of the bird flu. Prices are surging, supply is dwindling. Farmers have lost more than 46 million chickens since October.
President Trump just posted on Truth Social, this is Biden inflation going up. Earlier, he called for interest rates to be lowered. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell may be asked to react at a House hearing. He says the Fed's in no hurry to cut rates again. In another Trump post this morning, he wrote, Doge has found massive amounts of fraud, waste, incompetence, and abuse. And he's also critical of judges' rulings limiting Elon Musk's reach into federal agencies. Musk said at the White House,
Your tax dollars need to be spent wisely on things that matter to the people. I mean, these things, it's just common sense.
A House DOGE subcommittee monitoring the Department of Government Efficiency is about to hold a hearing. Congresswoman Melanie Stansberry vows
Democrats are ready to fight.
they claim Musk and DOGE are out of control. At the Senate, votes in a short time to confirm controversial Trump nominee Tulsi Gabbard to be Director of National Intelligence. Democrats oppose her but can't block Gabbard. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is at NATO headquarters in Brussels, saying Russia's war in Ukraine must be stopped. But
returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders is an unrealistic objective.
President Trump hopes a prisoner swap with Russia could help lead to the war's end. It set Mark Fogel free when he landed. Fogel went to the White House calling the president a hero.
I feel like the luckiest man on earth right now.
Fogel, an American teacher in Russia, was jailed in 2021 for possessing medical marijuana. Another detained American will be released today. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Winter weather part 2. It's cloudy and 29 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. Some parts of the state got some wintry weather on Monday, but the entire state will be seeing a little bit of something later today. Northern Indiana in particular will be seeing snow.
The heaviest snow looks to be confined by up toward Lake Michigan, where they could see 3, 4, 5 plus inches of snowfall because it will stay all snow.
However, meteorologist Marcus Bailey expects there to be freezing rain and significant ice buildup here in central Indiana, just rain to point south. The defense has rested without calling any witnesses in the trial of Orlando Mitchell. He's accused of killing Crystal Walton outside of a daycare in September of 2022. The trial now moves to closing arguments, which are going on this morning. State police say a Michigan man has been arrested for abducting and assaulting a woman in LaGrange County back in 1986. Sasha Nixon reports.
Officers believe Ricky McClatcher abducted a woman after she got out of her car to remove an object from the road. Unfortunately, the case went cold, but ISP began looking into it again in 2015, and advanced DNA technology finally helped officers connect McClatcher's family line to the crime in 2023. The man was arrested Monday in Michigan. He will be extradited to Indiana. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
It was a setup that didn't go quite as planned. Court documents accuse Shannon Miller of Muncie of working with another man to try and kill her ex-boyfriend. The man she was working with was Ronald Wright Jr. Detectives believe that Miller and Wright lured her ex to a park where Wright tried to kill him, but instead the ex-boyfriend ended up stabbing Wright to death. They believe it was in self-defense. The Indiana Pacers lost to the New York Knicks last night, 128-115.
We're at that point in the year where there are going to be frustrating things that happen. We got to find ways to give each other energy and push through.
Head coach Rick Carlisle, they face the Washington Wizards tonight on the road. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, February 12th, 5 minutes after 10 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Rob, yesterday I ran into the boss, the big boss, Dion.
Yeah.
And he said, well, first of all, he was asking about you. He seemed like he was a little concerned. And then he said he was a little disappointed. And so, yeah, Rob's fine. Why? What's going on? And he said, well, here it is, the 11th of February, and he has not received a single complaint about you. the entire year so far.
That is the long-standing joke. So what's funny is the amount of, and many of them come from down the street from us because these people can't stand any pushback or opposition. The amount of people over the years who have emailed, well, first Smolian and now Dion, and demanded my immediate termination over something I've said on these airwaves. And I'm sure at this point there's just a giant file cabinet full of them, and Dion gets a good chuckle out of them. And just know that, like, if you call and demand I get fired, they laugh and have a good chuckle at it, because we produce the results. We give them what they want. We give them the ratings. The ratings are the revenue, and the revenue is why they exist, right? So, well, I don't know why that is. After yesterday, he might have got a few.
That's what I told him. I said, well, he tried really hard today, so maybe you'll get a phone call. But
you know what we need to do? We need to have Ethan, Ethan Hatcher, host of Saturday Night on the Circle. He's a phenomenal artist. Many people don't know this. He's a great artist. We need to have him make one of those signs. You know how, like, at a construction zone, they'll have days without an accident, and they erase it and change it each day. We need to have Ethan draw us one of those signs, and then each day we can update days without someone demanding Rob be fired from his job. That's good. Well, I don't know if that's because, I mean, I've been trying to play, and see, this is why you can't play nice with these people. I've been trying to play nice with them in hopes they would do the right thing to motivate them. Because people all the time are like, Rob is so negative. Rob is childish. Rob's nicknames, they don't serve anybody or do anybody any good. I think I've been, relatively, until the Senate Bill 1 testimony, nickname free of people this year. I don't think I've disparaged the good name of any lawmaker. I think I've tried to play nice. What did you give me? Nothing. Right. It got me the same thing I've gotten before. So clearly, look, the nicknames serve a purpose because the nicknames draw attention to things. James Briggs wrote an article about Carmel and about the GOP approach to Carmel because of that nickname I gave the mayor of Carmel, Spendin' Sue Finkum, and she responded to it. He saw that online. That's why he wrote the article. The nicknames, the things we do here, spur conversation. So for any person who thinks it's like beneath them to engage in that type of these people treat us like garbage. These people, by the way, you were laughing hysterically at the tweet I put out last night about the mayor of Carmel.
I was, because what did you say? She's driving in reverse. It was the beep beep that sent me over the edge.
So our old pal, the mayor of Carmel, who will complain about me incessantly to subordinates and people we work with, but then they say, well, why don't you just come on the show and tell Rob where he's wrong, and you get radio silence. She's a real tough guy on social media, and so she waited until after the Senate Bill 1 was gutted in committee yesterday, and then she put out some Dickens novel. Kev, do we have the hate music? Maybe we can just read say my name, right? If you're going to tweet at me, do the @ sign and, send it at me. Don't do this. What do they call that? Vague booking or passive aggressive?
Sure.
Like, you're a mayor. You're talking to me. Say it. Say my name. All right. Should we read it? Should we do a dramatic reading?
I think you should.
All right. Is it worthy of that? I mean, I hate to give her all this publicity. Maybe I won't read the whole thing.
It's really long.
So okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Casey.
She had that written before it was long
totally.
before it was posted.
Yeah. And by the way, look here, lady. You've made a very powerful enemy. So crap's on. Get used to it. My goal by the time I'm shown the door here is to have broken the mayor of Carmel. That is my new goal, is to break the mayor of Carmel, because you deserve it, lady, the way you've behaved. Just come on here and say it. If you think the taxpayer-funded hotel is great, say it. If you think $58.5 million for a hotel is great, say it. If you think all that money for the Palladium is great, say it.
Yeah, don't hide behind public safety.
And you started this. See, she tries to act like she didn't do what she did, which, Casey, you saw the testimony. Did she not insinuate some doom and gloom if the property tax bill went forward? Right? Everybody knows what she was doing. Well, you don't get away with that here. So too bad. So you got two options. Either I'm going to keep making your life a living hell because this is club sport for me, or you can come on here and address it, and then we'll be done with it. You'll say your piece. I'll say mine. Public will make their choice. We'll go our merry way. Two choices now, lady. You pick. This is more fun for me. All right, dramatic reading. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. Last week, I testified at the State House to advocate for a responsible, balanced approach to tax reform. One that delivers meaningful relief to Carmel residents. Time out. Stop. When did she advocate for any sort of relief to... We're advocating for relief to Carmel residents.
She said these are hypotheticals and it's early on in the process.
No, at any point, Casey, you saw her speak.
We brought in the entire Carmel budget to talk about the $23 million in reserves.
At any point was spending Sue like, hey, we need some meaningful relief for my Carmel residents. At any point did you hear those words coming out of her mouth?
Nope.
All right, go ahead, Kev. While protecting the very services that make our city a national success story. Well, time out. So the fire guy making $271,000, that's protecting services? Like you couldn't have found some guy who'd like, yeah, I'll do it for $210?
Right.
That's protecting services? And where does the taxpayer hotel, where does the $58.5 million taxpayer-funded hotel fit into protecting
right
service? All right, go ahead. As often happens, reckless speculation and deliberate misinformation about my testimony followed. Time out. Time out.
That's you.
That's me. Why didn't you just say? Rob Kendall said.
She's talking to you.
Rob Kendall said. No. Casey, you were watching the testimony during the commercial breaks and the pre-recorded segments. Did we relay any information out here that a reasonable person wouldn't assume from the words that came out of her mouth during that testimony?
No, I was reading the budget. I wasn't fudging numbers.
And when she was talking to those people, did she make it or make it not that her premise was she wanted you to believe something bad could happen to public safety if the Braun tax plan got passed?
Yes.
All right, very good.
Go ahead.
And again, we're offering her a chance to come on and talk about this misinformation. We're giving her, and she learned. You know how, remember in Terminator, how it gets smarter, Skynet is activated and it's learning? This is spending Sue Fingham. She's learning because last time she tagged me in something and that didn't go very well for her. So now she figures.
I'll just put it out there.
Yeah, okay. All right, go ahead, Kev. As often happens, reckless speculation and deliberate misinformation about my testimony followed, including claims that I would drastically cut public safety funding. Not only is this false, but it also fundamentally misunderstands what makes our city strong. Public safety isn't just another line item in our budget. It's the bedrock of everything we do. And that will never change. Stop!
Never change.
We're done here. The public safety argument has now been refuted by none other than Spendin' Sue Finkham, the mayor of Carmel. So any person who waltzes their ass into that state house and tries to tell these lawmakers that they're going to cut public safety or public safety could get cut if you get property tax relief, we're done here. Every senator needs to be alerted that Spendin' Sue Finkham, the mayor of Carmel, in her own tweet, which I have screenshotted and captured for eternity in case it disappeared, did she or did she not just admit that no matter what happens with Braun's plan, public safety's going nowhere?
She won't cut it.
The prosecution rests, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I think we're done here.
It was your response that was really pretty fun. If you live in Carmel, be careful on the roadways. Spendin' Sue Finkham is going in reverse. Beep, beep. Okay, there we go. But
why do we have to do this? Why do we have to make such a spectacle of all this to get elected public officials? Why do I have to drive her to the point of insanity to where she's harassing my coworkers for her to admit I'm not cutting any public safety? She admitted it. We're done here. Screenshotted. Put it in the Louvre. No public safety is getting cut if Braun's bill passes.
So if that passed, she's saying that she would tighten elsewhere.
Right. So now the question becomes back to all those people on the committee that voted to gut this bill. If you have the mayor of Carmel admitting, and by the way, what a crappy job they did interrogating her because they couldn't get it out of her. I got it out of her in 2 days and I've never talked to her. I'm having no direct communication with her. I just drove her to the point of insanity on a radio show. If she's admitting public safety is not getting cut, then why did you gut this bill? If the local government people are admitting whether they meant to admit it or not, then what are we doing here? They're telling you we can do property tax reform and we can collect the police and fire. But I'm the bad guy in all this, Casey, right? Like, I got the mayor of Carmel to admit the thing that we wanted her to admit from the beginning. It took all of this hey Rube and brouhaha to make this happen, and somehow I'll be the bad guy in all of this.
She went on to say that as this process continues, I remain committed to working with Governor Braun and legislative leaders on reforms that balance tax relief while maintaining Carmel's exceptional quality of life.
Okay, great. Then didn't she get asked, though, like what tax reform looked like to her?
Mm-hmm.
And didn't she go?
She said it's early on in the process and I don't work in hypotheticals.
So she had her chance to tell them what that looked like. She had the chance to offer those alternatives. She offered nothing, which is what she offers the people of Carmel. Nothing.
Interesting thing is we were going to talk about the complaints about Elon Musk, and it just we went sideways on this. We're going to get to Elon coming up from 93 WIBC.
No matter where you head on your commute, Matt Bear is there. Paris.
Les Champs-Élysées sont un véritable parking ce matin.
Warsaw.
W drodze do pracy wyjdź trochę wcześniej.
Or Brazil.
Temos bisbilhotice no Rio de Janeiro. Não haja como turista.
Matt, these are all cities in Indiana.
Oh, that makes my job easier.
Making your commute easier. Matt Bear Traffic. Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
Hey guys, recent talk about rising interest rates and economic uncertainty may have you wondering if now is the right time to sell your home. Will I get the price I need? Will it take too long? The good news, you don't have to figure this out by yourself. There is a friendly, no-pressure, experienced agent who eats and sleeps Indianapolis real estate, Mark Deedle. Perhaps you're worried about costly repairs or upgrades. Needed to sell your home? Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Crystal in Franklin had to say about working with Mark Deedle. I was moving to Kentucky and needed to move fast. I got the Mark Deedle marketing plan and was blown away. The plan worked. I got a full list price offer in the first weekend. Just like that, Mark and his team got it done. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Well-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
You said bye-bye to big government. Now it's time to trim the fat from big wireless. Pure Talk gives you the exact same service. They use the same cell towers, the same 5G network. You get better customer service, and you pay half the price for the exact same thing. Get unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data with mobile hotspot for just $35 a month. Make the switch. You simply dial pound 250. You say the keyword save now. Save an additional 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, America's wireless company.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
Coming home to a cold house in the dead of winter isn't just inconvenient, it's expensive. For over 60 years, thousands of Hoosiers have trusted B&W to catch their problems early and keep their families warm and safe. Call 317-214-0108 or go to bplusw.com for fast, reliable service today.
That's 317-214-0108. B&W, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
Rob Kendall is not the only one who's trying a different approach. Elon Musk is as well. He's a fan of nicknames. He changed his ID on his Twitter account yesterday, and it's driving the mainstream media crazy.
Now, the disruptor-in-chief, Elon Musk, who apparently has adopted the alias, at least he changed his social media handle to Harry Balls, tweeted this morning, "Democracy in America is being destroyed by judicial coup. An activist judge is not a real judge."
So President Trump signed an executive order with Elon Musk in the Oval Office yesterday, and it aimed to reduce the size of the federal government. I don't know how much of that press conference you saw, but it was definitely a different approach from what we've seen in the past taking place in the Oval Office.
Well, it's great, right? I mean, look, the problem that those of us who care about, and I think this is most of the people in our listening audience that care about good, accountable government are up against, is that you are fighting a machine that is a mixture of the status quo. People have a vested interest in the status quo, either through power or money, and a media apparatus that, because they are on the team or the side that is the status quo, is invested in defending that. And in order to bring attention to a largely apathetic public, and not only bring attention to things to a public that's apathetic, but also motivate them to action, you've got to find ways to not only get them to look, but say, I want to be involved. And you got to bring a little pepper to the soup, a little sizzle to the steak. You've got to make people want to invest in what you're trying to present to them. And Republicans have just been horrible at that because government is boring. Numbers are irrelevant to people for the most part. But now that people are starting to feel a little pain in this country, and they're starting to see how quickly, this incredible thing can crumble, I think they're waking up and they're bringing a new way of doing business in hopes of getting people to engage.
I think that entire press conference symbolized change. Obviously, you have great change in the way Donald Trump has been doing things, but the fact that he had Elon Musk in there with him, and then Elon had Lil X in there with him as well. A lot of people said it was really reminiscent of JFK and John being in there. But the Democrats are not happy about any of this. But here's the thing. They need better ideas than what Elon Musk has, and they don't. Just attacking Elon Musk is not a new idea. So when Elon was in there, he listened to the media and their criticism, and instead of attacking back, he answered their questions. He admitted at some points that, yeah, he's going to make mistakes, but he wasn't afraid to be real. It was very authentic. And Trump sat there quiet for a lot of the time while Elon was talking, but it shows that Trump was being a leader because that's what leaders do. They hire good people and then they stay out of the way. They let them do their job. And that's what Elon Musk is trying to do with Doge. And at one point, he was saying that they have found that there are people that are over 150 years old who are collecting Social Security. And he was questioning if he knew anybody who was 150 years old.
There's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone that's 150? I don't. Okay. They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out. That's a case where, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. Or they should be very famous, one of the two.
I bet you could list a couple of people who you think are 150 years old. Joe Biden comes to mind.
Well, some of them work down the street from us.
Mitch McConnell.
But here,
the lady who fell asleep during the committee.
What was her name? What was that grant? What was that?
Sue Glick.
Sue Glick. Thank you. Yes, they all run together at this point. This is you see how effective you are based on the rabid response from the opposition. And they're mad because he has, tell me if this sounds familiar, Casey. They are mad because Elon Musk has a gigantic platform and he do not care.
Right.
And when there's nothing you're going to do to break somebody, what are you going to do to Elon Musk? What are you going to do to him? He's the richest man in the world. He has zero cares to give. Oh, he doesn't get to do Doge anymore, or something happens to him. Okay, he'll just go run his companies and be super rich. What are you going to hold over him?
Or not run his companies?
Well, right. He doesn't care. And this is, one of the reasons I got out of politics and I decided to start doing this little project again was because I had reached a point of frustration where I couldn't make people care about their own lives as much as I cared about their lives. And what I consistently find is there would be issues where I could drum up enough interest where people would come and they'd engage and they'd do really well. And then I would think, okay, hot dang. Now here comes the troops, right? And on everything, the troops will be here. And then the troops disappear, right? Their one thing gets decided. And you would tell people, no, you're getting screwed every day. Like, you're getting screwed on all these little things, and they add up to a big thing, and you got to stay engaged every day. And it reached a point where I was starting to be concerned about my physical health because it was so frustrating to me. And I said, okay, well, how can I maybe get people to care about their own lives the way I care about them? And this seemed like a good idea, and I think we've been somewhat successful at that. But this is the thing Elon Musk is up against right now, is can you show people how they're getting screwed and make them care about their own life the way you apparently care about their life? I'm telling you from experience, it's a really heavy lift, Casey.
So now Trump and Musk, they're running up against some judicial
Activism?
issues. Well,
activism?
Okay. Yeah. Trump said that there's been billions and billions of dollars of waste, fraud, and abuse. He went on to say it's hard to believe that judges want to try and stop them from looking for corruption. But that's just it. And then at the end of this press conference, Elon said something that I think everybody has been questioning forever. And Elon said that Doge is going to look into government officials who have a high net worth while making just salary in the government.
We do find it sort of rather odd that, there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, what happened to USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it.
So he's talking about people like Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren and all of these people who have a government salary and yet are worth millions upon millions of dollars. But another approach that was completely different about that press conference was the fact that he had his kid on his shoulders for half of it.
Why not? I mean, what, are you going to take him more or less serious? Is he more or less the richest man in the world if he has his kid with him? I mean, it is about getting people to engage, and we got a lot to engage, and we got a lot of voicemail, a lot of pissed off people in the voicemails.
Yeah, we've got a lot of phone calls, so we're going to get through those coming up from 93 WIBC.
If your loved one has stopped seeing friends because hearing loss prevents the use of the telephone, please help them by visiting RelayIndiana.com. RelayIndiana.com provides captioned telephones that allow the hard of hearing to have phone conversations through voice recognition technology. The other person's words appear on an easy-to-read screen. Help your loved one stay in touch with their family and friends by getting them the CapTel captioned telephone from Relay Indiana. Learn more at RelayIndiana.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
'93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Looking at cutting costs, some winter weather on the way. It is cloudy and 29 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling for Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 10:30. The congressional counterpart to Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency is holding its first hearing today. The House's Doge subcommittee is hearing from 3 witnesses who are expected to testify today, including the director of the United Council on Welfare Fraud. He wants an end to the war soon. Fox's Jonathan Savage reports on the war in Ukraine.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has been addressing members of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group.
The bloodshed must stop, and this war must end.
He says the U.S. wants a sovereign Ukraine, but divisions are clear. Secretary Hegseth insists Ukraine can't expect to regain all its land, including Crimea, illegally seized by Russia in 2014. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Apple Maps is joining Google Maps and President Trump to change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Google users in Mexico will still see it, though, as the Gulf of Mexico. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WYBC.com.
Are you thinking this year I want to look and feel better and get my hair back? We Grow Hair Indy can help you do just that. I'm Rob, and I got my hair back at We Grow Hair Indy. Here's Darren Andrews, clinic director, to tell you why I chose them.
For nearly 20 years, we've helped thousands of clients grow their hair back, and we can help you. We're one of only 2 places in the entire country to offer the Artist Robotic FUE and multi-unit hair grafting.
I got multi-unit hair grafting. I love the results and cannot believe how much hair I got back. I can't recommend them enough. Call right now, 317-522-2995 for a free evaluation. Great technology, great company, great people, great results. Go to WeGrowHairIndy.com, see my results, and call 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Don't you want to say, I got my hair back?
These cold winter nights mean more than just frosty windows. They can also spell trouble for your roof. Freezing temperatures, ice, and snow can lead to leaks that cause costly water damage if left unchecked. Moss Roofing is here to help. Tony Katz here, and Moss Roofing are the only ones to trust. A family business based right here in central Indiana. Whether it's a free inspection, patching a pesky leak, or a full roof replacement, their expert team has your winter roofing needs covered. Plus, they offer numerous financing options to make it easy on your wallet. Don't wait for that drip to turn into a disaster. Call Moss Roofing today for a roof done right every single time. Talk to Moss Roofing today. 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or find them online at Moss Roofing, MOSS, mossroofing.com.
Discussing end-of-life matters can be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary to ensure that loved ones' wishes are well known ahead of time. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. Up next, I'll share suggestions to help ease anxiety surrounding the talk.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Direct, open, and honest conversation is the best way to discuss end-of-life wishes. Knowing your loved one's preferred treatments and desired arrangements will ready everyone for when the time comes. Also helpful, creating a will or trust to ensure assets are distributed accordingly. And consider an end-of-life doula to assist your family during the process. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. It's time to hear from you. Kendall and Casey present voicemails.
The phone number, 317-684-8444, if you want to get involved with voicemails with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
That's just gross.
What we're going to talk about at 11 o'clock?
Yeah, that's like, I can't even believe that's a thing.
Yeah, we'll get into it coming up. I can't wait to hear your opinion on that. But right now, we've got to get through a lot of voicemails, so we're just going to rip-roll these one after the other, and you got it. It's all about how the Senate gutted SB 1 yesterday in that committee hearing. And this first phone call, somebody is coming after you, Rob Kendall.
Once again, Rob Kendall is wrong. Everybody needs to stop listening to Rob Kendall because he's a buffoon. Straight up. Oh, vote for rainwater. Send a message they can't turn down. The only thing voting for rainwater did is Holcomb just replaced us with a bunch of damn Democrats. Vote for Braun. Braun will get us meaningful tax reform. Bull crap, Rob Kendall. You're an idiot.
Oh.
Straight up, the only way these Republicans are going to understand anything is that they lose seats. Every voter in this state needs to vote straight Democrat ticket for the next 2 election cycles. Every single voter. They lose seats, they'll wake the hell up, and then they'll start listening to us. That's the only thing they're going to understand is losing seats. and challenging them in a primary isn't going to work, because what do? Oh, just go ahead and look at your two senators up there. They use dirty tactics to go ahead and keep their challengers off the ballot. So challenging them in a primary isn't going to work, and voting for libertarians doesn't work. So vote for the Democrat. Make them lose seats so they wake the hell up.
Yeah, I voted for Democrat. I don't know why he's mad at me. I voted for Democrats before because I want the Republican to lose. When have we ever said you have to vote for Republicans on here? I mean, we made it. I mean, I don't understand why he's mad about. Braun has tried on this bill. I mean, you can say he's been ineffective. That's okay, but you wouldn't have the bill this far without Braun. You wouldn't have a bill for us to be pissed off about without Braun. So I mean, if he wants to be mad at the radio guy because of the way the people down the street behave, that's okay. I don't have any problem with you voting for Democrats. I've done that many times before to try to make a Republican lose if they don't behave like a Republican. So fine, take it out.
He had to take his anger out on somebody.
I'm the giving tree, Casey.
You received today.
I'm just the stump at the end of the book. I have no limbs or trunk or anything left to give. Just take it out on me. It'll be fine.
For the record, I don't think you're a buffoon, and I believe that many people don't agree with that as well. Here's another phone call, same topic.
Hi, Kendall and Casey. Love your show. I not only texted my state senator, I called his office and gave him a piece of my mind. So here's one Republican who told him if he doesn't put the stuff back in the House Bill 1, I'm not going to vote for him the next time. And I'll do everything I can to make other people not vote for him. Keep up the good work. Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah, people are angry. Another option besides calling or emailing is blow them up on social media.
Yeah.
Tag them if you want.
And look, we're not going to tell you what their account, that's too many of these people to try to find their social media. You can probably find it, though. If you just Google whatever the name of your senator or House member is, social media. I got a message. I want to relay this, too. That I got a message from a member of the House. By the way, and this is not J.D. Prescott who sent this message, but a member of the House. J.D.'s going to be on with this tomorrow because he's on Ways and Means. And this person said that they believe that they think it can still get reinserted once it makes its way over to the House if Braun is willing to engage in the process. But that means different than what he's done before. No more nicey nice. The nicey nice is not working. These people don't want to do this. You got to use the bully pulpit that comes with the governor's office to try to lean into this. So look. A lot of things come, a lot of things go, but it's going to have to be a immense public pressure campaign.
Here we go. Here's another phone call.
This whole damn property tax thing is so ridiculous. All these MFers need to be primaried.
Agreed.
And quickly.
Okay, somebody else doesn't agree with the primarying. They've got another idea.
Hey, Robin and Casey. I'm calling about the property taxes and the stuff that they pulled this morning. I have emailed my senator stuff, but I'm wondering if it's enough anymore. I'm a lifelong Republican. I voted straight ticket for years and years, but after listening to Rob for the last 8 years or so here, I've been where I've just left the places blank and not voted for certain people like Todd Young. But I wonder if that's enough anymore. Just leave it blank, or if I actually have to start voting Democrat, because then they might finally fear me and start making the changes on property tax and gas tax and things like that. It just is infuriating that they would gut this bill to help everyday Hoosiers. And as far as the gas tax, which you ended with on the end of the show today, I don't mind paying a gas tax if I actually saw road improvement. But the roads in Indianapolis and the surrounding area, I travel a lot for work, are absolutely awful. And, so maybe I just need to start voting Democrat.
Okay, so we're picking up on a theme here. Now, we started the voicemails with someone blasting you, Rob. This one is going to go in the other direction.
Rob, John from Columbus. Don't ever quit your daytime show. Your daytime job.
You're so good at it. We need you there. Keep doing what you're doing. You and Kendall or Casey, excuse me, are just wonderful. Appreciate you. See you. Bye.
Where would I go? What do I do?
Yeah, and for those people that say it's just a radio show, well, yeah, it's also a podcast, and it's also a video podcast as well, all over the country. Okay, more. We've got more. This one directed to Scott Baldwin.
Yeah, Kendall and Casey, this is a message for Scott Baldwin. Our property taxes have gone up $1,800 in the last 2 years. We're sick of it. I will vote Democrat or I won't vote at all. So get it fixed. Goodbye.
Okay, and here's somebody with some advice for Governor Braun on what he should be doing.
I'll tell you what Mike Braun needs to do. Mike Braun needs to veto anything that does not bring about true property tax reform, number one. Number two, he needs to have a special session and tell them to work it out until it gets done. And number three, he needs to come out and use the bully pulpit and just expose to all the taxpayers in Indiana what they're doing and just make an announcement that everyone that stands in the way of true property tax reform, every Republican that votes against true property tax reform needs to be primaried. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah, he's right on all three of those things, and Braun can do those things. He certainly, if this bill would have passed in this form, he should veto it, and then he should call a special session and tell these guys, we're not leaving until my bill is passed. It's a good bill. It's a good bill. You're not getting out of property taxes right now. It is a good bill. Tony went on something this morning, and I like Tony. He's a good broadcaster, but man, sometimes I listen to him, and it's like, what world are you living in on how this actually works? He's like, well, it's not an infallible plan. It's maybe not the best plan. It is the plan. Here's how the General Assembly works. The governor drives the bus. This is the best plan you're going to get that helps the most amount of people. And sometimes I listen to, because I know he's against property taxes. Mm-hmm. I know that he says that, and he should be, and he's right on that. It's like, then what's your plan? What do you intend to do? And so many people want to say, well, this and that, but they don't have a plan. The reality is the governor drives the agenda. The governor is the most visible person in the state of Indiana. He has the most power that comes with that visibility and the ability to shine a light on public policy. And this bill is actually pretty good, and it's pretty moderate, and it's not what I would do. But we all need to be behind Braun on this and supporting what he proposed, because it does the most amount of good with what you can reasonably accomplish. And we've got the mayor of Carmel. For those of you who don't like nicknames or you think that's beneath you, I'll get to a break in a minute, Kevin. Think that that's not the best way to go about it. We got the mayor to directly contradict the tenor of what she said during the SB1 testimony, which is public safety in Carmel will not be impacted if Braun's property tax plan passes. Mm-hmm. Do you think we would have got that by saying, please, Madam Mayor, please tell us? No. We made her mad enough, and she got enough crap because we gave her a nickname, which I know some people think, oh, that's beneath you, or that's childish, or that's this. We got her to admit the thing that now could drive the debate and the discussion going forward, because she can't backpedal out of public safety will not be impacted. We do things the way we do them for a reason, because they work.
Hammer's going to join us next. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel Show, 3:06. That's when we start this afternoon. We're going to keep our eye on the weather this afternoon and reaction to the tax situation here in Indy. 93 WIBC.
Hey, clock's ticking away, Valentine's Day shoppers. It's Terry Stacy, and for last-minute gifts, family-owned Cynthia's Hallmark makes it really easy. Cynthia's fragrant potpourri bouquets are beautiful, and they'll last forever and make a great decor piece for any home. Lots of plush, too, and the hottest plush on the market, Jelly Cat. Cynthia's always carries the softest, most lovable plush for kids of all ages. Cynthia's Spring Marabou combo. Lounge shirts and pants, silky smooth and come in beautiful patterns. Buy a pair of lounge pants for just $19.99 and get the lounge shirt for just $4.99. Plus a wide selection of Jim Deco jewelry and gifts, including the Art Heart collection. Stunning and share a beautiful sentiment. Perfect for those that you love. Speaking of jewelry, Cynthia's in Greenfield carries the most popular jewelry line in the country, Gorgeous E. Newton Jewelry. Shop locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark for the biggest selection of Valentine's Day gifts. 116th and Allisonville Road, 96th and Lantern Road, 116th and Brook School Road, and in Greenfield.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. And a thank you to our loyal customers for making our agency a national sales leader for the 7th straight year. We recently saved a family of 4 over $500 monthly when compared to their ACA plan. You know it's still Obamacare, right? We've recently saved a 61-year-old retiring couple over $600 when compared to their COBRA plan. Breaking news. We are now able to offer health insurance to employer groups of all sizes with 2 of the largest insurers in the Midwest. We'll be here when you need us. Quoting my favorite president, what the heck do you have to lose? We can help. As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
Call Ron or Terry at 317-563-0868. That's 317-563-0868. Or go to rragency.org. That's rragency.org. A health plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Dads happen. There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry X's, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Let's talk about getting back to your best. Lack energy, muscle mass, feel moody, or have low libido? It could be signs of low testosterone. Know your T levels. Get tested. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, may be the answer. The true experts are at Low T Center, and everyone's different. Don't settle for a standard dosage TRT program.
Get personalized treatment at Low T Center. For current patients, Low T Center offers a $150 referral credit when you refer a new patient. LowTCenter.com. Book that appointment today. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Here he is from the #1 rated Hammer and Nigel show, Jason Hammer. Good morning.
Good morning, party people. How are you?
Great. I thought your interview with Foxworthy went awesome yesterday.
Oh, thank you. So I think he was joking at the end when he asked me to open up for him. I don't believe that was serious, but if he's serious, I'm down.
I'd take him up on it.
Yeah, so down to clown.
So Jeff Foxworthy is coming to Fishers, is that right?
Yes, the FEC.
Yes,
the Fishers Event Center.
And you're now a friend of the taxpayer-funded FEC.
Yes,
because you do the PA or the
MC stuff.
MC. Yes, thank you for the fuel who pay
Once
there.
in a while, I'm like the fill-in guy.
Yeah.
Fill-in hype man.
But yeah, I love to do more of that stuff, man. That crowd gets into it. Like hockey fans, they're their own different group, right? They're smacking glass. They got cowbell.
Yeah,
they're awesome, man. I have a good time.
Yeah, and you want to talk about Jeff Foxworthy? There's a guy who, and really came off in the interview yesterday. He's genuinely thankful for all that he has.
Yes, he's family first. That was the way. Even when he was playing comedy clubs, it's like I'm doing this to take care of my family. And I thought it was really awesome when he talked about when he went to L.A. to do the TV show, and all these squirrely consultants were trying to, well, you really need to drop that accent. Like Jeff Foxworthy has already been, like a millionaire 10 times over at this point, doing a TV show talking about rednecks, and you want him to sound like Joe Pesci. Okay, that was hilarious to me. But you can hear that at WIBC.com. He's a friend of the show. He's been on with us a bunch of times, and he delivers every time.
Did you hear about the big breaking news last night? Regarding the mayor of Carmel. Did you hear about this?
So I was listening to you guys coming in today. Now, the Townie chatter boards, and I believe the mayor herself, have told us that if people like me, people like me get property tax relief, I'm not 65, I'm not a disabled veteran, and I already own a home.
Yeah.
If people like me get relief, the police department is going to have to be gutted in Carmel.
She definitely insinuated in the testimony that the public safety could be wackola, right? I mean, like you heard you heard that. So
she's going to have to make that tough decision: fake mannequins in the street or police.
Right.
So then last night, she. And look, if you're in Carmel, you need to be very careful you're on the roadways because Sue Finkham is going in reverse. So if you're traveling down Main Street in Carmel, you need to be very careful. Let's see. Should I just read this?
Please.
Read this to you? All right.
Because I don't want anybody to say it's your opinion.
No.
Read it word for word.
This is the mayor of Carmel. As often happens, reckless speculation and deliberate misinformation about my testimony followed, including claims that I would drastically cut public safety funding. Not only is this false, but it also fundamentally misunderstands what makes our city strong.
Stop. What did she say in her testimony, Casey?
Oh, she said that it was all hypothetical and early on, and that public safety and fire were at jeopardy.
Okay. So then what's this crap?
Public safety isn't just another line item in our budget. It's the bedrock of everything we do, and that will never change.
So if I'm supposed to take her at her word from this statement right here, then they were never going to get rid of police or fire departments?
That's right. It's just like the kids were never going to die in the hallway of an active shooter in Brownsburg if they didn't pass the referendum. It never happens. The stuff they say never happens and is never going to happen. And
you mean the people on the Townie chatter boards and the fear mongers were wrong again? I'm shocked.
But isn't the most frustrating part that these lawmakers know this and then they use this crap as an excuse to not vote for something? And then she comes out after. She waits till the vote, right? Till it gets gutted. It's not like she doesn't say it before it gets gutted. She doesn't say it in her testimony. She could have said this exact thing in her testimony, and you never would have heard a word from us. She had every opportunity to lay this out ahead of time, and she deliberately waited until after they'd gutted the bill, and then she comes out and goes, well, that was never going to happen. These people are spreading lies and misinformation.
So, did I hear correctly? There's a little beef going on with you and Carmel's Tony Katz. Did I hear this right?
I think he's very upset about the nickname and the way I treat the politicians.
What is your nickname for her?
Spendin' Sue.
Spendin' Sue.
I mean, if you're spending $235 million a year, that's spending, right?
That's spending.
That's spending a lot of money. So what do we call her? What I'm going to call her not Spendin' Sue?
Saving Sue?
No, he's very upset. He's very upset about the property taxes, but yet he's mad. I don't know that I gave this woman a nickname in regards to the fact that she didn't want him to get his property taxes lower. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this guy.
Well, I know what you have to do now. You have to give Tony Katz a nickname.
Oh, no.
Right? If he's upset that you're giving his mayor, which maybe they're buddies, I don't know. Maybe they're in cahoots together. I don't know. You got to give Tony Katz a nickname. And like on The Simpsons, like the big mayor, like guy, the mafia guy.
Yes.
Fat Tony. I think it applies. You got to do it, Rob.
We saw what happened to the last guy that tried that. What's coming up this afternoon?
Oh, and by the way, why aren't you feuding with Destiny Wells? She's fighting with everybody else but you now.
I think she's afraid of me. She fights back with everybody but me. I think she learned her lesson on that one.
Your feuds are like things that I read while I'm sitting on the can. All right, this afternoon, man, we're going to have more reaction from the property tax situation. Elon Musk, we're going to have Tony Kennett, and we're giving away some more Foxworthy tickets.
Nice, Hammer. It is Kendall and Casey on 93
He's
WIBC.
a Simpsons character, Fat Tony.
Whether you're preparing for retirement, navigating a life transition, or simply wondering if you're on the right path, Howard Bailey Financial is here to help. Together, we'll work on a personalized plan designed to bring greater clarity to your goals and help you approach decisions with confidence. It's not just about numbers, it's about the life you want to lead and the legacy you want to leave behind. With over 20 years of experience, Howard Bailey Financial has been dedicated to guiding individuals as they work toward taking control of their financial future and finding peace of mind. Text PATH to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement toolkit and start planning for the retirement you've dreamed of. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant and home office. 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joyner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana, and the best place to start is joynerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joyner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joyner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joynerhomes.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The 30th Annual Indiana Motorcycle and Power Sports Expo is back and better than ever. February 14th through 16th and 19th through 23rd at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. Featuring the Midwest's largest selection of motorcycles, side-by-sides, ATVs, gear, accessories, and more. Plus, Bikers Showcase, Tiny Tots Riding Adventure, and the pioneers of Hoosier Motorcycling. Your ticket also includes admission to the Ford Indianapolis Boat Sport and Travel Show. Visit IndySportShow.com, another Renfro production.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Ryan Hedrick breaks down what you can expect as far as winter weather is concerned, plus reaction to yesterday's property tax vote at the State House by your lieutenant governor, and the lawsuit that Indiana State University is facing over in Terre Haute. I'm Kirk Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
Putting Elon Musk under scrutiny. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We will fight the war on waste shoulder to shoulder with President Trump
Elon Musk, and the Doge team.
Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene leads the Doge subcommittee holding its first hearing into the Department of Government Efficiency's push to slash federal spending. Democrats, like Congressman Jerry Connolly, argue Musk is an out-of-control wrecking ball.
The way not to do it is to fire the people charged with the remit of waste, fraud, and abuse, namely inspectors general. President Trump has already now fired 19.
Well, 8 of those fired agency watchdogs have now filed a lawsuit today challenging their removal as unlawful, trying to get the jobs back. Now, there have also been numerous other legal challenges to Trump executive actions and Doge's reach into federal agencies. Attorney General Pam Bondi tells Fox they will keep appealing.
We will go to the United States Supreme Court and get clarification and get a ruling because we have outrageous, overzealous, unconstitutional judges trying to control federal spending.
The Senate will soon vote on Tulsi Gabbard's controversial nomination to be Director of National Intelligence. No Democrats support her, but Republicans do have enough votes to overcome that. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is at NATO headquarters, and Fox's Lucas Tomlinson reports from Brussels.
He came out swinging. He was saying that Europe must provide for its own defense. He said, quote, stark realities prevent the United States from being the primary guarantor of security in Europe.
And Hegseth told his defense counterparts Russia's war in Ukraine must end, but Ukraine should not be allowed to join NATO. Another American detained overseas will be released the day after Mark Fogel was set free from Russia, where he had been jailed since 2021, and he went to the White House.
President Trump is a hero.
There are multiple reports in exchange for Fogel. The U.S. will release a Russian prisoner, Alexander Vinnik. Inflation keeps rising again. Consumer prices jumped to 0.5% in January, more than expected. The annual rate of increase year over year rose again, back to 3%. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It'll be a slick commute. Radar is clear for now. It is cloudy and 29 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Driving on ice is risky, especially with today's winter storm moving across the state soon. Ryan Hedrick reports.
That's the message from Wish TV forecaster Marcus Bailey, who says you should ease up off the gas when you're crossing bridges and overpasses.
Give yourself plenty of space. Always assume that the road may be a little more slick than potentially it is. In some spots, it may look wet. In other spots, it could be icy, and it could quickly come upon you.
Bailey says more rain and snow are expected this weekend, with the highest chance for snow on Sunday. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
State Senate Republicans have taken out large parts of Governor Mike Braun's proposal for property tax relief, as you know, much to the dismay of Braun's Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith.
I think we could still get some really good things. I haven't given up. But we got to fight. We got to call our senators, call our House reps, say, give us meaningful property tax relief or else.
Talking to Hammer and Nigel, Braun's plan would have cut property taxes by about 21% immediately. The defense has rested without calling any witnesses in the trial of Orlando Mitchell. He's accused of murdering Crystal Walton outside of a daycare in September 2022. The trial now moving on to closing arguments, which have been going on this morning. The ACLU is suing Indiana State University.
It's very disconcerting when the government closes off a public space to First Amendment activities, and that's exactly what we think is going on here.
ACLU legal director Ken Falk, who says ISU is refusing to allow the Pride Center of Terre Haute to host its annual Pride Fest on the ISU campus. The center says that they reached out for permission to hold the event on campus, but have not heard back. 2 stunners last night. The Indiana Hoosiers beat Michigan State 71-67, while Purdue lost to Michigan 75-73. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
He's not just a real estate agent. He is a real estate expert. Mark Dietl, the only real estate expert I would trust and recommend with the sale of my home. How about Katie and Chris in Perry Township? Sadly, their marriage had ended. They were both ready to sell and move forward as soon as possible. Mark Dietl made it happen fast and easy. Their home sold for more than they anticipated in 24 hours with 17 showings and multiple offers.
Mark Dietl is the best in the business because of the guarantee. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That is what separates Mark Dietl from the competition. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Call Mark Dietl today. At least start a conversation. 317-755-4232, or go to markdietl.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietl.com.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, February 12th, 5 minutes after 11 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Rob, we have a hot couple alert.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready for this one?
Oh, hot dang.
Lauren Boebert and Kid Rock.
I don't believe you.
You don't think so?
There's no way.
Okay, so they were seen dancing at a inauguration party for Donald Trump, and then they were spotted leaving at the same time. And Daily Mail has the article, and they're putting it out there. Is this a new hot couple? They've been flirtatious. Boebert was reportedly fangirling over Kid Rock, clapping, dancing, and he responded by jumping up and down.
I'm going to tell you also how he responded, but I don't think we can say them on these very... So he is 54 years old. She is... What do you think Lauren Boebert is? Price is Right rules.
I'm going to say 40.
40?
I think she's 42.
I'll say she's older than that. I'll say she's 40. Well, you went 42. I would say older than that, but I'll say 43. 38?
Yeah.
What'd you guess?
I said 40. We were all over.
She's 38. Okay, so she's nuts, right? Let's just give our audience a lay of the land here. She's the kind of quirky from Colorado, well assembled, but she was the one who allegedly got all liquored up and then was getting handsy with some rando at a theater.
Yeah,
right?
back in 23, she was thrown out of a Beetlejuice performance in Denver. There were complaints that she was vaping and groping her date.
Well, that was the thing. I mean, there was like video of her, like what appeared to be.
Yeah.
You know the thing.
Sure.
She was,
the
thing.
You know the thing.
She's having fun.
She was having a good time.
She was.
She was spreading some. When was it? Do we know when that was? Was that Christmas cheer that she was spreading, or she was spreading something
like that?
We don't know.
Well, she split from her husband in 23.
But she's got a bunch of kids, right?
I think she has two or three sons.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they split up, and then she had I believe you're right, it was a wintertime event.
It was a wintertime event.
So she's the one who she nearly lost her reelection back in 22, and then she moved to a more conservative district and then won re-election. And since then, she's kind of been leaning into being more conservative and aligning even stronger with MAGA.
I'm trying to figure out how old Boebert's kids are. Can you imagine if that was your mom?
I think she was pretty young when she had her
this
kids.
inspired me to be a mother when I was 18 years old. So
Yeah.
that means she has a 20-year-old kid.
Mhm.
Can you imagine your mom is it's like the real life Stacy's mom
Mhm.
is your mom?
Yeah, well, they're probably used to it. I mean, they've been
Yeah, but that's
growing
kind of
up
unfair
around
to
it
that kid, right?
their entire life.
Okay.
But
So
that
Kid-
seems like a likely couple to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, Kid Rock is gross.
You think so?
I mean, look at him.
Uh-huh.
You think he's attractive?
You
just did the laugh, and then the way you smile. Like, I've been around you 3 years, so I know this now.
Mhm.
I know when you laugh and the way you smile and what your eyes do. You think he's attractive.
I like some of his music, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But look at him. He's all like...
He looks dirty.
He does. Like,
Yeah.
and you know who he's been with. You know the amount of...
Professionals?
You know the individuals he has shared some sort of magic moment with.
Yeah.
Or a moment.
Right.
Moments.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know that you're asking for a trip to the clinic if you engage in any sort of relations. Why would she, as a congressperson...
Would you like a shot of penicillin?
Shouldn't our I mean, there's no way they're going to be a couple. Maybe you're insinuating maybe they had some sort of one-night entanglement. There's no way she would date. No way.
Is that what you do with Kid Rock? Do you date him?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
Is he single? He's not married.
I have no idea. Is Kid Rock? No, there's no way. Is Kid Rock married? He was married to Pamela Anderson.
Okay.
Wasn't he? Wasn't he married to Pamela Anderson? Weren't they?
Yeah, he was married to her for like a year.
I think that's it. Let's see personal life. Wikipedia always tells us this stuff.
So
how did you guys do this before the internet?
magazines, and you had to wait a week.
Personal life. Let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. They have a son, which was born in 1993.
Okay. I think it makes.
I love this. This is so Wikipedia. They raised a total of 3 children together, 2 of whom Richie believed to be his.
Believed. We're questioning.
They split in 1993 when Richie discovered that only one of the 2 was his. So only one of them. So he was with some woman. This is the most Kid Rock thing ever. He was with some woman, and he had 3 kids, and he believed 2 of them maybe were his, and they turned out one of them were his. So let's see here. Let's see. He didn't have any kids with Pamela Anderson. They did have a miscarriage, Pamela Anderson said. He's a grandfather. His son has a daughter. I think that's the only. In 2017, he became engaged to longtime girlfriend Audrey Berry. Is she a person?
Well, yes, she's a person.
Well, but I mean, is she like a thing? Okay,
She's
I don't
arm
think
candy, perhaps.
Yeah, there's no update on that, so clearly they didn't get. I mean, really?
But they run in the same circle, right? I mean, you've got. Well, I mean, Kid Rock is seen with Donald Trump all over the place when they go to those MMA fights and everything.
But he's not a he's not hanging out with John Thune. Like he's not hanging out with Mike Johnson.
Clearly.
I mean, he's a Trump guy, but she's not in Trump's orbit.
Well,
is she?
Isn't she part of the Freedom Caucus?
Well, that's not Trump's orbit. She's just some low-level goof congressperson. I mean, if Lauren Boebert looked like who's a atrocious-looking female politician? If she looked like what was her name?
Elizabeth Warren?
No, even worse than that. Come on, that's not. I mean, she's not bad at him. What?
Maxine Waters.
Maisie Hirono.
Okay.
If she looked like Maisie Hirono, would anybody know who Lauren Boebert is? The answer is no, of course not.
Probably not. So they're both on the peripheral of Donald Trump. They're both at these different events all the time. So I think it makes sense. She looks like she's kind of like that rock and roll kind of girl.
You mean a high body count type of person, like not afraid to enter congested traffic? Is that what you're saying?
That's how you want to say it.
Yeah?
Sure.
High density population. I mean, I would want my congressman to be above dating Kid Rock. I'm sorry. I don't know. But whatever. I wish her the best. I mean, when you're alleged to have been engaging in physical interactions of a sexual nature in a theater, I guess dating Kid Rock is somewhat par for the course, right?
Right. It's on track. Okay, so speaking of rock and roll, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees were revealed.
Who are they? Who we got?
You went the whole list?
Is Styx on there this time?
No.
Styx is not on there.
No, Styx is not.
How is Styx not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
You've got Bad Company, The Black Crowes, Mariah Carey.
Slow down.
Okay.
All right.
Bad Company.
Okay, Bad Company. That's Paul Rogers. Yes, Bad Company. Okay, go. Okay,
They're a first-time nominee, by the way.
Okay.
The Black Crowes. You've got Mariah Carey.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Is she a rock and roll star now? Oh, I guess I missed all of her.
She rocks that Christmas song every year, doesn't she?
Her rock repertoire. Anyway, go ahead.
Chubby Checker. Joe Cocker.
Yeah.
Billy Idol. Joy Division / New Order.
Who?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What's the rock New Order?
Well, they're definitely rock.
Are they?
I feel like they're.
What's their song? I've never heard of them.
Transmission. You ever heard of that one?
No,
I've played it as bump music.
Blue Monday.
Oh, Blue Monday.
It's another one
they did a cover of Blue Monday, right? They weren't the original Blue Monday.
I think the members of Joy Division became New Order, and then they did Blue Monday, right?
I would think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should be above Blue Monday, if that's your only thing.
All right, now somebody that you like, Cyndi Lauper.
Oh yeah, okay.
Mana.
You're okay with that?
Well, she's rock. Money Changes Everything is one of the 10 greatest songs of all time.
Yeah, I guess.
Money changes everything.
Oasis is on the list. Outcast.
Outcast?
Yeah.
Weren't they the Hey Ya guys?
Yeah.
Got your
That's rock.
Polaroid picture.
They have some rock influence in some of their music.
But it's not the rock influence in some of our music Hall of Fame. It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Fish.
The jam band guys?
Yes. Soundgarden. And also the White Stripes.
But no Styx.
No Styx. So artists become eligible 25 years after the release of their first commercial recording.
No REO Speedwagon?
Nope.
REO Speedwagon's not in. Kev, can you confirm that they're not in the Hall of Fame? I don't think REO Speedwagon's in. There's another big one that's not in that I always lament.
Is Foreigner in?
I think Foreigner finally got in, didn't they?
Yeah.
There's another one. There's another one that it's like ludicrous that they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's like 3 big ones where they just... Oh, Warren Zevon's not in. He wasn't even nominated. How did he get unnominated? He got nominated the last time, I think.
Well, because people vote on it. You've got 1,200 people that vote on it. And then this is the nominee list. It doesn't mean they're going to be the actual nominees.
I mean, that's...
So they put it out there and then people vote.
Okay, so of the people they named, Bad Company, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Company.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Silver, Blue, and Gold is one of the one of my 10 all-time favorite songs, too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I would put them in just based on Silver, Blue, and Gold.
Mhm.
So Bad Company, Cyndi Lauper, definitely, yes. What are some of my other options? The people you think I would? Chevy Checker, like come
Chevy
on,
Checker.
He was a pioneer.
Rock and roll hit
Gotta put-
maker.
gotta put him
I'm
in.
sure you're saying no to Oasis.
Yeah.
You'd probably say no to Soundgarden as
No,
well
no,
because
no.
you don't like that grunge music.
Right.
Or the White Stripes. I mean, the White Stripes really, I'm only familiar.
That can't be a thing. Rush is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, aren't they? Rush has got to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's no
believe
way.
so.
Can you look that up? Can you confirm that?
Mhm.
Somebody in the chat said that there's no way Rush is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Anyway, go ahead.
So,
I've got
Mariah,
3
Mariah
so far.
Carey, you're saying no to.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, Rush is in the Rock and Roll
Rush
Hall of
is in
Fame.
the Rock and Roll.
What about Joe Cocker?
Got to be, right?
Yeah.
The theme to the Wonder Years.
You can leave your hat on.
Yeah.
That one. Billy Idol.
I was a huge Billy Idol fan in 1998 because he was in The Wedding Singer, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And then I was really into what he's got. Okay, so what's the standard, right? 3? 3's the standard. If you have 3 hits, you're a megastar.
Yeah, you got Eyes Without a Face,
Yep.
White Wedding,
Moni.
Flesh for Fantasy.
Flesh for Fantasy, Moni.
Yeah, so
yeah,
that's
he's
4.
easily, he's got to be in.
All right, there you go.
That's 5. So 5 of those I'm okay with.
Okay, well, the
But how is Styx not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Like, seriously, what are we even doing here? And I don't think REO Speedwagon is in, and Warren Zevon is not in. Like, what?
Have you ever voted in these?
I've been in the fan voting before, but then I think I stopped that year that somebody got in that was ridiculous around Warren Zevon. And I was like, well, why am I even participating?
Yeah, he got snubbed.
Have you ever been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland?
No. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's just a.
It's a music hall of fame.
It's a music hall of fame, and this is why I don't understand why they keep calling it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's no reason that. Who are some of these goobers who get in, like these rap artists, and you're not a rock and roll? That's. I don't
So
know.
you would say no to Outkast.
Yeah, they're not rock and roll.
All right. The induction ceremony will take place in Los Angeles, of course. I'm trying to find out when it's going to happen.
Who votes?
Late April
Who
is
actually-
when they're going to have the actual narrowed down list.
Who actually votes on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
1,200 international artists, historians, and music industry players vote on the nominees. Fans also have a voting influence.
Influence, but we don't know what
Mhm.
that is.
Well, that means you get a say, but who knows?
They don't
if
tell me
they'll-
what my
if
say
they'll
is. If
listen
they
to
like my
you
say,
or
they'll go
not.
with it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, very good.
That's it exactly.
Thank you.
So what do you think about the plastic straw? The executive order to bring back the plastic straws. Donald Trump did that.
We can talk about that next.
Do you want to?
Well, we can if you want to.
Do you want to talk about property taxes some
I mean,
more?
I've never stopped using a plastic straw, but we can get into it if you want.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
The commander-in-chief no longer needs a diaper change. The commander-in-chief doesn't have to watch Matlock with pudding smeared on his face. We've got a commander-in-chief that no longer falls up and down the stairs multiple times. I'm excited for that. If anything else.
Let's see how long it takes before Pencil Neck Adam Schiff to file some impeachment charge.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hello, you fabulous people in listener land. It's Rob for my friends and family at Life Church. We love Life Church. They've had an awesome impact on my life and my family's life, and there's so many cool things going on now with Life Church. They'd love for you to just come check it out. You got nothing to lose. You got everything to gain. And right now they got a marriage conference, in fact, going on February 21st and 22nd at their Noblesville campus. You can head over to Life Church right now and check out everything they got going on. Totally worth the trip. Talk about their 4 campuses across central Indiana. Talk about their fabulous online services. Talk about the marriage conference. See it all for yourself online, lifechurchin.com.
Best are us when dreams sunk in. Best are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bestsareus.com. 765-545-BATH.
Best are us when dreams sunk in. Best are us.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market. Even in winter, we're bringing you the best in farm fresh flavors. Stop in for our fresh salad bar, hot and crispy wing bar, and a cheese selection that is second to none. Got a sweet tooth? Our homemade pies, creamy fudge, and old-fashioned candy will hit the spot. Come see us on US 31 just north of Carmel. We're open every day 9 to 6. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about fresh, local, and delicious. See you soon.
You said bye-bye to big government. Now it's time to trim the fat from Big Wireless. Pure Talk gives you the exact same service. They use the same cell towers, the same 5G network. You get better customer service, and you pay half the price for the exact same thing. Get unlimited talk, text, 15 gigs of data with mobile hotspot for just $35 a month. Make the switch. You simply dial pound 250. You say the keyword save now. Save an additional 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, America's wireless company.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
Can you believe that?
I can believe it because it surprises me as well with so many other songs in her repertoire. You say that Cyndi Lauper's Money Changes Everything is one of the top 10 best songs of all time.
Oh, totally. It's great. And it's bad enough I got to get crap from you guys. And then Carl comes in here and is like berating me, Tony's producer, about like, did I just hear you say this? Well, yeah, because you're in here repeating it. You want to fight about it? Like, what's the big deal here?
Clearly he did. He wanted to challenge you on this. So Cyndi Lauper is a nominee to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We just reviewed the list, and that made you say that statement. And you know what, Rob? I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
Many people agree on this.
Uh-huh.
They think that you don't have the best taste in music.
Well, that's fine. I don't invade your space. I'm a lyrics person. Like, the words matter to me.
You are.
The words matter to me way more than the music. And because Carl's like, that's girls just want to have fun. Yeah, that's a chucklehead song, but
that's a novelty song to me.
But this song's really good. I mean, it's like she's breaking up with this guy, and he's pouring his heart out to her, and she's just basically like, hey, I know I told you all these things, and I know that you believed me, and I kind of believed him when I said it, but hey, I got a better offer, and that offer's cash, and that guy's just, he's just, let's work through the lyrics, shall we?
Yeah.
She said, I'm sorry, babe, I'm leaving you tonight. I found someone new. He's waiting in the car outside. Like, just the visual of that.
Yeah.
That's spellbindingly good.
She's breaking somebody's heart right there. She found the BBD, the bigger, better deal.
That's right. So you guys can whatever you want with me about my choice of music. I maintain Money Changes Everything, one of the 10 greatest songs of all time.
Better than True Colors or All Through the Night
totally.
Or Time After Time.
I'm not even that big of a Cyndi Lauper fan, although she did do the wrestling, so that's pretty cool. You know, she was part of the rock and wrestling connection.
She was.
Really launched wrestling
well,
in the 1980s.
Didn't she have, what was his name? Joe, whatever his name is. The Girls Just Want to Have Fun video. The wrestling guy with the long beard.
Captain Lou Albano.
That's who I'm talking about.
Joe. Captain Joe Lou Albano, yes. Yeah, she was very into the wrestling and was part of all that with Hogan and Mr. Wonderful and all those guys. And I just didn't expect to be berated by Carl. He comes just storming in the studio, and he was like throwing things, and was like, dude, it's just a song.
Many people would say that Cyndi Lauper, if you head-to-head competition, Cyndi Lauper over Madonna.
100%.
Cyndi Lauper's a better singer.
Not even close. The music is better. The songs are better. She's far more likable than Madonna.
Mhm.
100% every category, Cyndi Lauper over Madonna.
Okay,
Yeah.
what about plastic straws or over paper straws? Which one you picking? If you had a choice.
I've never been forced to use a paper straw that I can recall.
Oh, really? They seem to disintegrate very quickly.
Where have you ever used a paper straw that you can remember, where you were forced to at a restaurant of some sort?
Yeah, mostly on vacation in Florida or, something like that.
Okay, but here in the great state of Indiana, have you ever been? Has anybody said you must? Here, I'm giving you a paper straw.
I'm trying to think. I feel like Bar Louie up in South Bend had a paper straw era.
Mandate?
Yeah.
No kidding. What is that? Is that like some swanky?
It's Bar Louie.
It's
a chain.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
chain. What is
Yeah.
it? But like, what is it?
It's a restaurant. Bar.
Sounds
Yeah.
fancy. No, but South Bend doesn't really have fancy things.
Yeah,
Isn't South Bend wild that the Notre Dame campus is phenomenal, the hospital campus is great,
Mhm.
and then everything else is just complete hot garbage?
What are you talking about? It's great there. I mean, all the empty houses and the tobacco stores and the fireworks shops. It's great, Rob.
That time I drove into South Bend to go see the football stadium, and it was
Mhm.
like driving into something out of a depressed Dickens novel, right? When
Mhm.
you're met there on 31 as you're coming into
There's
South
a couple
Bend.
nice areas.
Kev, you ever been to South Bend?
Yeah, I've been a couple times.
Yeah.
I went to a Notre Dame game when I was really young.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Did you?
I was like 7 or 8.
Yeah,
Do you remember it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I
Okay.
kind of remember it.
Yeah.
What was that? Was it Ty Willingham? Was he
Yeah,
the coach at the time?
Oh yeah, yeah. Anyway, so what? Trump is mad about the paper straws and said no more paper straws. Is
Yeah,
that right?
he signed that executive order favoring plastic over the paper straws.
What does that mean?
It's for federal agencies.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this doesn't affect anybody unless you're working in a federal.
It's like my favorite restaurant wanted to go with a
Mhm.
paper straw, and so be forced to. But I don't recall anybody ever handing me a paper. Maybe they did, and I didn't remember it. I
Well,
don't know.
he said the paper straws, they're ineffective because they break, they dissolve, they don't last in hot drinks. All of that is true.
Why'd they get rid of them? There was some reason. Was a fish endangered, or what was the deal?
Well, yeah, it was environmental because the plastic straws, what they get in the ocean,
Uh-huh.
and then they choke some of the wildlife.
How did the plastic straws get in the? Are people just taking them and throwing them?
Mhm.
Maybe the issue might be why are they getting into the ocean? Like who's taking a plastic straw and just throwing it into the ocean? I'm calling bullcrap on that.
Do you think so?
I think
mean,
we're being
you've never
manipulated.
seen any of the videos with all the plastic that they sweep out of the ocean that, they say
But how
impacts
does it
the
get
marine
there?
life?
That's my question. There's
Mhm.
a way. Maybe we should be more focused on how it's getting there. And I'm sure some environmentalist or marine biologist is just screaming at their radio right now that I'm missing something. But wouldn't the key be to, rather than ban the thing that we like,
Mhm.
figure out how it's getting into the ocean and stop it from getting into
Right,
the ocean?
fix that problem instead.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so during the press conference yesterday that Elon Musk had in the Oval Office with Donald Trump, he was talking about the limestone mine where they store all of the U.S. government retirement paperwork. Did you see the pictures of this? Built in 1950, and they need to go up and down every time somebody wants to retire from the federal government. So Donald Trump came out and he was asking all these people to voluntarily retire.
That's correct.
Right? And now they're saying, well, it's going to take a little longer because of the actual speed in which they can do the paperwork.
That seems like a very government thing. Like if I went to them tomorrow, I was like, I would like to get out of here. They would have that processed in 20 seconds.
Mhm.
Oh, thank gosh, he's gone.
But no, the paperwork is actually housed in folders down in this limestone mine. And the federal employees that process this have to go up and down these elevators, and they only move at a certain speed. And that is what is taking so long.
Sounds very creepy to have to go underground in an elevator. For a claustrophobic person like me, that would be. I don't think I could do that job.
Well, and they've got hundreds of people that do this, that go up and down.
That's their job.
Right.
Just hiring and
Like,
firing
at what point don't they want to turn this all over,
Well, but yeah,
computerize it?
All the medical records are electronic now. Why can't we
Right.
make the federal government paperwork electronic? Seems like it'd be a thing. I don't know.
It does, right?
I don't know. What are we doing next? What's going
It's
on?
shocking. So JD Vance he's been traveling. He was in Paris. He's talking about AI. And you've also got a couple concerts coming to town.
Oh, how exciting.
Not Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, that's
But
too
we'll
bad.
see if you like any of these people on the list. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What he wants to see in Ukraine. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. An end to the war. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is in Eastern Europe today.
Hegseth arriving here for the first time. He's telling the Europeans they need to step up and spend much more on defense and take a leading role in defending their own continent.
The United States remains committed to the NATO alliance, but the United States will no longer tolerate an imbalanced relationship.
The tone was set early when Hegseth walked in the door.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell is testifying before Congress for a second day. Yesterday, Powell said the Fed is focused on lowering rates, but will remain cautious as the economic situation continues to change. It comes after an inflation report came in hotter than expected. Stocks are falling on Wall Street at midday. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. If your garage floor looks bad with stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your entire garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job or chipping paint makes your garage or basement look worse. With one quick call to 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, I can save you $1,000 on a new Comer & Cross garage floor or basement floor during our winter sale. A Comer & Cross concrete floor coating is the gold standard. Guaranteed. A Comer & Cross garage floor won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. What's the Comer & Cross difference? We make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. In one day, you will love your gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor or basement floor just in time for spring. Call us right now for $1,000 in savings during our winter sale. Operators are standing by now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to COMERcross.com.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has green-lighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Help USA to see if you qualify by dialing 800-210-8808. If you or your business owe at least $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Call Tax Help USA to get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-210-8808. 800-210-8808. 800-210-8808.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. You know, Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and if you're like many people and you just forget Valentine's Day, you're going to need some way to make it up to your loved one. And how about, imagine this, let's just play this out for a second. Honey, I know I forgot Valentine's Day, but I'm putting all new windows in the house. Yeah, Casey giving it the thumbs up there. That's what Mama knows what she wants for Valentine's Day. And right now, Universal Windows Direct has the Love Your Windows sales event. Where every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 free. And that's not all. Universal Windows Direct is offering no interest financing for 3 years. That's 36 months of easy payments with 0% interest. Already have a price from another company. Universal Windows Direct will beat it. So you know you're getting the best deal around. Some restrictions may apply. So to get all the information and schedule your free in-home estimate, call today, 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Make your woman happy the way Casey would want to be made happy. UniversalWindowsDirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Life-changing discovery should never be left to chance. IU Indianapolis is Indiana's premier urban research university, home to 50 research centers and institutes, which means our students don't just study groundbreaking research, they make their very own breakthroughs from day one. We're here to make the future happen. Bring on tomorrow. IU Indianapolis. Discover what's next at go.iu.edu/breakthrough.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance, but Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You know, we talked about earlier about how Lauren Boebert may be potentially dating Kid Rock, and I bet one of the reasons is not the money, it's not the fame, it's the fact that he appears to have very nice long hair. Now he's mostly wearing a hat, so I don't know. But for the purposes of this exercise, let's just pretend Lauren Boebert is engaged in some sort of interaction with Kid Rock because he has nice hair. Maybe he went to We Grow Hair Indie. Nice hair can change the point of all this is nice hair can change your life for the better forever. I know. I'm proof. I went to We Grow Hair Indie 4 years ago, and every time I look in the mirror, I'm so glad I did. Now, here's how it works. You call today, 317-522. Stop laughing, Casey. You know it could be because Kid Rock has nice hair. Call today, 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation consultation. Darren and the gang, they'll take a look at what you got going on. They'll give you some suggestions, and then you make the choice. If you'd like to be as happy as me and see some other people that are as happy as me, head over to WeGrowHairIndie.com. WeGrowHairIndie.com. Stop laughing, Casey. Tell them Rob sent you.
We all have people in our lives we interact with. Maybe it's your favorite barista, a neighbor who waves to you every morning, a coworker you grab lunch with, or maybe it's me, the hairstylist you've gone to for years. What if you learned I had a substance use disorder? Would it change how you see me? It's okay to see the addiction, but when you choose to see the person, not just their disease, it can help change someone's life. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
With a B&W Premier Club membership, you'll stay ahead of breakdowns and costly repairs. Our members get routine maintenance, priority scheduling, and exclusive discounts, saving you money and keeping your family comfortable all season long. Visit bplusw.com or call 317-214-0108 for more information.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
I'm sailing away, set an open course for the virgin sea.
I don't even want to talk.
I know.
It's so good. How are these guys at the Rock and Roll Hall of
It is
Fame?
good. But with this song, sometimes I'm still hearing Cartman from South Park in my mind.
You know, it's the Kendall and Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. That is Styx, and we were lamenting that they're not even in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And like, how are these guys? All the hits they had, the longevity, all of that stuff.
Right.
And like, I always used to admire. Kevin and I have talked about this before. I used to admire these guys like Dennis DeYoung, who was sort of the backbone of Styx before they kicked him out, and like how they would write their songs. Like to me, it was interesting to see these guys and how they would formulate songs. And he was telling a story one time where he was talking about this song, and he goes, "Yeah," 'cause he's from Chicago, and he was like, "I woke up one day and I came down the stairs and I looked out and it was freezing cold outside and there was snow on the ground, and I thought, man,
I'd like to be on a boat."
Yeah, he's like, "I'd like to go on vacation."
Yeah.
And so, and it was just always fascinating me how these guys could go some simplistic idea like that and
turn
out
it
of,
into sailing.
Yeah,
away.
I mean, it's just an unbelievable talent. I've always been in awe of that. And it's ridiculous those guys are not in the Rock and Roll Hall. They could keep Tommy Shaw out; it'll be fine. Just Tommy Shaw and James Young, and just put the rest of those guys in.
Okay,
it'll be fine.
It'll be all right. Did you see? Are the Doobie Brothers in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Oh, they got to be.
I'm not
Although
sure.
there's a bunch of people I've said they've got to be in, and they're not in.
I'm not sure about that. They're coming to town. They're going to be at Ruoff. Does that interest you?
Is this with Michael McDonald or without Michael McDonald?
Right.
You know, it's like I would go see Chicago. What's the guy for Chicago? Peter Cetera.
Mm-hmm.
If Peter Cetera was with Chicago, I'd go see Chicago. But they're not Chicago to me without Peter Cetera, and they're feuding too. So he's not in the. Doobie Brothers.
The Doobie Brothers are in the Rock and Roll
Is this
Hall
with
of
Michael
Fame.
McDonald or without Michael McDonald?
I'm sure it's without. They're not specific.
Well, then, no,
but-
I'm out.
Right.
No, I'm
you're not going
going.
to see them?
No, why would I do that?
Okay, so they're going to be at Ruoff in Noblesville. Let's see. Saturday, September 13th. It's part of the Coors Light concert
Well,
series.
and look, if you want to go and that's your thing, because they had a lot of hits without. They did have quite a few hits without Michael McDonald.
They
Just like
did?
Chicago had quite a few hits without Peter Cetera. But my point is,
You want to hear What a Fool Believes?
some of the. It's the thing. I need the whole thing. But I know many people don't. Many people are not neurotic and paranoid, obsessive compulsive disorder like me, so they
Yeah.
would be fine with that.
They have sold 48 million albums
That's a lot.
worldwide. Okay, so another show that is coming is Rick Springfield. He's bringing his retro hits to Fishers. It's the I Want My 80s tour.
That's great.
And he's going to be there. It's not just him, though. It's going to be John Waite, Wang Chung, and Paul Young as well.
Oh, is that the Nickel Plate? Are they playing at the Nickel Plate? Is it outdoor or is it indoor?
I believe they're at the FEC, the Fishers Event Center.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they are.
When is that?
Tuesday, June 17th. But here's the thing.
Then why are they doing it indoors?
Each artist is going to perform a full set of their biggest hits.
What does Wang Chung have other than Wang Chung?
Everybody Wang Chung tonight? Dance Hall Days.
Oh, Dance Hall Days.
They
That's
had
right.
two, so
John
there's
Waite,
their full set.
What was it? His big one was.
John Waite did Missing You
Missing You.
and Change, and wasn't John Waite in The Babies as well? I don't
That's
know if
right.
he'll sing
Is he
any of
allowed to
those.
do? I'm back on my feet again.
Yeah, a totally underrated band, The Babies. So then you've
You know
got,
who loved the Babies? The guy you used to work for.
Russ?
We both worked for.
Really?
Yeah, he loved the Babies. That's
Oh.
why it was on the playlist all the time.
I did not know
It was
that.
amazing how the music test always worked out to his favorite music.
So something that I went upstairs and I was talking to Sean Copeland from B1057 about Rick Springfield and Jesse's Girl because that song is still played on mainstream radio
Oh, yeah, it's
constantly. 43 years after it was released, Jesse's Girl, right? They still play that song every 18 hours.
Yeah, it's great.
It's in their Power 80s rotation.
Here's my problem with Jesse's Girl is at one point it was one of my 10 favorite songs. Not anymore. Here's why. You want to
High
know why?
Burn? You got sick of it?
No. My problem with Jesse's Girl is there's only 2 real verses. I feel like the end is it just peters out. Like I think the first 2 verses of Jesse's Girl are phenomenal, and there's just no end to the song. It's also my beef with Take It Easy. There's no real end to the song. They just it sort of like reloops itself. I need 3 verses. If you're going to be one of my top 10 songs, you got to have at least 3 verses, and Jesse's Girl really only has 2 verses of the song. What happens? How does it end? I don't know.
Does Rick steal Jesse's
That's my
girl?
point. Like it ends, and it's
No, he's like almost creeping on her.
yeah,
right?
he is kind of a
Trolling-
weirdo. It's like
trolling his friends.
Hey, real quick, I got to make a correction here, real quick. Well, not a correction because the state led me wrong. The state, when I looked up who was on the Senate Bill committee, Senate Bill 1 committee, the tax committee.
Yeah.
I clicked a link that I was directed to in the state government, and imagine this: the link was outdated.
Well, because yesterday you wanted to tweet out the names of all of the people that were on that committee.
Yes, and because
The gutted SB1.
I was directed to a state website that was outdated. Imagine that. I got 2 names incorrect. We left off Chris Garton and Tyler Johnson, who are on that committee, and then I guess they're new people on this committee. And we said that Ed Charbonneau and who is the other person? Greg Walker was on that committee. I guess they're no longer on the committee. So we want to make sure that Chris Garton and Tyler Johnson
They get
all
their
the
due
grief
credit?
they deserve. And I'm sure Ed Charbonneau and Greg Walker voted for something else they deserve grief for. But at least on this one, they were not on that committee.
That tweet got a lot of attention. And it started showing up in my X feed in just the normal algorithm.
Why is the state keeping old lists and websites that people can find and be very highly directed to in the search engines?
Yeah,
That's another question.
They're
What are we
moving-
doing?
They're moving slow,
Update.
aren't they? Yeah.
Why is it still there?
So Abdul's going to join us next.
We'll get a behind-the-scenes look at what's going on with the property tax fight. Where does it go from here? What's he hearing about what's going on in the State House?
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel Show, 3:06. That's when we start this afternoon. We're going to keep our eye on the weather this afternoon and reaction to the tax situation here in Indy. 93 WIBC.
If you're drowning in unresolved tax debt, know this. The IRS can place a lien on your home, garnish your paycheck, and levy your bank account. That's catastrophe for you.
We interrupt this message to bring you some good news about your tax debt. We're TaxRise, experienced tax professionals who can help you seek relief programs and work directly with the IRS on your behalf. Find out if you qualify with a free consultation. 888-788-4220. Eric from South Carolina owed over $74,000. We helped reduce it to $798. Troy, a disabled veteran, owed over $142,000 and settled at $500. We've helped thousands of clients with their tax problems, and we're ready to help you. So take the drama out of your tax debt and rise above your situation with TaxRise. For your free consultation, call 888-788-4220. 888-788-4220.
Results vary, not guaranteed. Client names changed. TaxRise is not IRS affiliated or a law firm.
If you built a house, you'd start with a strong foundation, right? Now, if you want to build a financial game plan for retirement, you'd start with Social Security. That's the foundation, and here's why. The decision to file for Social Security could impact your taxes, IRA, and 401k withdrawals, spousal benefits, and even your Medicare premiums. Everything is impacted by Social Security. That's why it's critical you get this right.
Nobody knows Social Security like our guy, Bill Demery, your retirement guy here in Indy. Bill is going to do customized. That's important. Customized Social Security analysis just for you. Everybody's different. He'll customize yours. And it's free. Absolutely free, even if you're not a client. So if you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, call our guy, Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Better water is getting even better at C&J Water. Get a free Premier Reverse Osmosis System when you purchase any water softener and save $990. C&J is the water treatment partner of the Indiana Pacers and Fever and believes everyone deserves better water, well water, or city water. When you invest in any new water softener from C&J, you'll get their Premier Reverse Osmosis System. That's a $990 value absolutely free. C&J Water for great systems and great people too. 317-733-SOFT.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 16, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Hammer and Nigel.
The commander-in-chief doesn't have to watch Matlock with pudding smeared on his face. We've got a commander-in-chief that no longer falls up and down the stairs multiple times. I'm excited for that.
Hammer and Nigel. Afternoons on 93 WIBC.
Well, some folks say they're gonna hang him so high, 'cause you just can't do what he did. There's some things you just can't.
Well, we've already hit the silly season of the General Assembly, and it's the middle of February. So when we're talking Indiana General Assembly, one guy that we call on, owner and operator of IndyPolitics.org, Abdullah Hakim Shabazz. Hello.
Hello, my friend. How's it going today?
We were chit-chatting out in the hallway. I'm very excited that they decided to gut the property tax bill in February, because my what do you call it, the Spidey sense? Spidey sense said, well, they're going to wait until April at midnight, like the night before session ends, and then do something in conference committee so that we can't complain about it and try to motivate people the next day. That, to their credit, they didn't waste any time. They said, opening salvo, you're out of here, property tax reform.
Well, like I said, reform is in the eye of the beholder, and I got sort of a breakdown of what the new property tax reform proposal looks like. I'm still kind of dissecting all that because I got it in my hands yesterday. But I do think, once again, I remind folks that this is a process. You know, the governor has this proposal, the Senate Republicans have their proposal, the House Republicans have their proposal, then all get together in April and get this all worked out. So is the sky falling? no, not yet. There's some things there I like, some things I'm concerned about. I'm not sure about that. But at the end of the day, it's a process, and everything will work out the way it's supposed to.
I mean, the bill right now is totally nonsensical. I'm also not sure how it even would hold up. Can you just say, I mean, that seems like discrimination to say if you're a certain age, you don't got to pay. And then you're a lawyer. Can you even do that?
Actually, yes, you can. You just got to have a really good reason to do it. And if you're a senior citizen on, it's what law, if you're a senior citizen, you're on a fixed income, and then people can say, well, senior citizens, we've always done property tax relief for senior citizens. We've also done it for disabled veterans. Of course, I don't see why not give it to all veterans.
Well, exactly, right? I mean, how about we just help people? Wasn't there some event I saw people going to, people helping people? Maybe this could be the extended version of people helping people here at the General Assembly.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, though, it's a process. Like this is just, I would say this is technically step number 2 in all this. But then it passed out of committee 10-3. It'll now go to the floor of the Senate for Second Amendment reading, which basically means any senator can offer up an amendment. So some things that you want to see, find a senator who you like or who you think will do it, and throw it in there.
I'm dueling you and your drugs.
But this is how the process.
Senator that I like.
Dude, this is how the process works.
Well, so let's talk about the political ramifications of this, and we got into this on State House Happenings. Braun, for better or for worse, hitched himself to this plan, whether he did it by choice or by force, probably a little bit of both. He went in his version of going all in. Now, he didn't handle it the way I would have handled it so far, but he's got a vested interest in this getting improved over the next couple months, because if this is all he gets, that's going to be a big loss for him on the signature issue out of the gate.
Yes and no, because here's why. I go back to Governor Daniels. When Governor Daniels wanted to reform Indiana government and do a lot of consolidation, Indiana lawmakers said, no, we're not going to do that. But on the flip side, the governor also had an alternative, like, okay, if you're not going to consolidate government, let's do property tax caps instead, because they're like, hey, we love property tax caps, because what did Daniels do? Daniels like, okay, if I can't kill the beast, I'll starve it to death slowly but surely. I think let's
go back to that real quick. You hit on it, and I've been saying this for years. The premise of the tax cap was that local governments were totally out of control, and the only way to rein them in, now you're using the phrase you'll starve the beast, was you have to make them, they will get better if they have to be accountable. And the only way to make them accountable is put those tax caps in.
Exactly. Now the thing is, I think where the Braun people didn't take a page out of Mitch Daniels' books, like, okay, if we can't get what we want in property taxes this way, what's the alternative? What can we do to get property tax relief to Hoosiers who need it? And so I think they had a plan A, but no plan B. And you never walk to the legislature without plan B. And I'm not talking about the contraceptive either.
Well, this is what I don't understand, because I told those guys, 2 months ago, and look, Braun's tried very hard. I don't think anybody's disputing he's tried very hard so far. But if you don't have the votes, then you got to try a new strategy. And if you didn't even have the votes to get it out of committee, they had to. Don't they tally? Aren't they calling people? Aren't they like, hey, Harold, how are you voting? Like, shouldn't they have known before
One of the first things I learned covering politics almost 30 years ago was, if you ain't got the votes, don't bring it to the floor.
Yeah, this is what I don't understand. It's like, if you didn't have the votes, why was there not a different... Like the fireside chat stuff is fine. We're going to mention the people in the state of the state. That's fine. But there's been no like super offensive thing. No big rally at the State House. I mean, we could get them 500 people in a couple days at the State House. There's been none of that. And you would think if you didn't have the votes, that's the sort of offense you would have been playing, rather than this kind of just four corners, defensive, very hands-off sort of style.
See, I don't think necessarily rallies would have done it. I mean, rallies are a nice show of force, but rallies over like in a couple hours, then people just go back to normal. This is you got to play the long game on this one. You really do. And part of playing that long game is also it is personal one-on-one contact between the state representative, state senator, and their constituent. For somebody like, hey, I listen to Rob Kendall on WIBC, so I'm going to send a letter to state lawmakers. Okay. But if you're not in my district, okay, that's fine. Throw it in the circular file. But that's why you got to find out, who's your state rep, who's your state senator, and email them, get a hold of them personally. Because they got those annual like town hall, fourth house meetings they do on occasion.
Sure.
That's where you show up, and that's where you make your voice
But the
heard.
problem is they do it at 7:30 in the morning on a weekday, and unless you're a blood-sucking parasite or a retired person, you got to go work, right? I mean, so what? Now I got to ask my boss to take off work so I can, aren't I supposed to be at work so I can pay the taxes? I mean, I used to go to those all the time when I was an elected person. It was self-employed. I could do that. But you go to those events, and it's, it's the blue hair crowd, right? I mean, regular people have to go to work, and so I think they're going to do what they're going to do. I'm glad they did it early, and at least now we got 2 months to just beat them over the head with a billy club and get some entertainment out of it.
Yeah. Hey, at the end of the day, it's all about you.
Oh, hey,
actually, it's all about me. But
real quick,
yeah,
what's going on with this whole Jesse Brown saga down at the city county building? I mean, so Jesse Brown's the socialist Democrat lawmaker. The Democrats kicked him out of the caucus.
Yes,
and now, of course, there was a flood of pissed off people, and now you were saying what in the cheat sheet that now they're going to organize around the next upcoming city county council meeting, and this is going to what are they doing over there?
It ain't going to be pretty, I'll tell you that much. And Jesse and I are actually going to be talking on Thursday of this week to get his side of everything. I'll also be talking to council Democrats as well. In a nutshell, it's a number of things. Number one, what happens in caucus stays in caucus, and Jesse kind of broke the caucus rule. However, Jesse was already on thin ice to begin with for a number of reasons: personality, conflicts, IPS, going after Maggie Lewis and Leroy Robinson, and about the whole IPS school takeover issues. And are they in the pockets of Rise Indy and the Mind Trust? And it's
and I'm sympathetic to this guy because I feel like he and I are bizarro world people. Like he is to the left, what I am on the right. And it's like the elected Democrat who hates the Democrats, and I'm the elected Republican who hates. I'm sympathetic to him, and I wonder, like, okay, he makes noise, but he doesn't have any power, so just let him make noise. Like, now you've created a bigger issue by kicking him out. It ain't gonna change anything. He don't do what he says anyway. Just leave him be.
And actually, to use a Star Wars quote here, by God, I can do this
here we go.
Sorry, yeah. It's a line where Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi are fighting the first movie, and Obi-Wan says, "You strike me down to make me more powerful than you can imagine."
Yeah.
So by striking him down, by kicking him out of the caucus, you've actually elevated.
That's right.
You've elevated his profile,
Which may be what he wants.
Because now he can say pretty much whatever he wants and be off the rails, and you can't really kick him off the council because there are laws and rules about it because you're stuck with him.
Yep.
Until 2027.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he has a primary challenger.
Yeah.
In
well,
2027.
he won a primary challenge.
Yep.
No. All right. Find him at indypolitics.org. Abdullah Keeps Your Boss. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you to all of you, our very fabulous listeners, for tuning in. Great job, Casey and Kevin, as always. Stick around, Toady Cats. Coming up next, Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
During tax season, your info travels lots of places you can't control.
W-2 arriving from payroll platform 3.
Everything criminals need to steal your identity is on your W-2.
Last call for accountant at home office, 1 minute.
LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second.
Tax preparation data centers with service to IRS. All aboard.
If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up. Give yourself plenty of space.
A Senate committee this week approved a scaled-back property tax relief.
The lawsuit claims Indiana State is violating the First Amendment rights of...
I went to him the other day and told him he wasn't starting it.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
Why it could be a tricky drive home.
I'm John Herrick.
And I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at noon. A winter storm is moving across the state, bringing snow to some areas and ice to others. Wish TV forecaster Marcus Bailey says if you're driving home, be careful of the roads.
Give yourself plenty of space. Always assume that the road may be a little more slick than potentially it is. In some spots, it may look wet. In other spots, it could be icy, and it could quickly come upon you.
A winter weather advisory goes into effect in less than an hour. Bailey says we can expect rain and snow this weekend, and most areas will likely see snow on Sunday. A man accused of fatally